Yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice. NPH. God, he looks skinny.
No Harry Potter.
Jeez, look how skinny he looks.
What'd you say about Harry Potter?
Neil Patrick Harris. He's with Travis in this photo.
I know, but someone said Harry Potter.
NPH. No Harry Potter.
Oh, you know, no Potter Harry?
Dude, I love NPH. That's awesome.
No Perry Hotter? Share this to the group.
He also was in who else? He was in an elevator with the guy from what was that show? Guts. What's that guy's name? Michael O'Malley. Right?
Double Dare, you mean?
Jim O'Reilly.
Michael O'Malley, the host. I remember Travis telling a story. He was in an elevator with him.
Okay, kids, let's begin.
Let's start the shit.
There has been an awakening.
Do I have time to take a dump?
Have you felt it?
Kerner, I might want one of those beers after I have this coffee.
You can. Yeah. Is there
It shall be allowed.
courtesy of Oakar.
Here.
You guys are so funny.
Today.
Holy shit. You ain't C3P
No one can see anything.
R2 dickhead.
What do you mean?
Hello there.
I gotta sit behind the light.
Someone you have, I would say.
Just embalm yourself in shadow like Lord Sidious.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
I want the Sith chanting in the background instead of our music.
Master. Good Day Galaxy, Rogues Watching Podcast. You guys know what it is.
This is a spoiler episode if you couldn't tell. Hope I didn't ruin everything for you.
Major spoiler
But
episode.
we're diving into this shit. I don't give a damn.
Episode 9.
I've waited too long.
Rise of Skywalker.
Long have I waited.
Long have I do it.
Who are you?
Mopar.
I'm Commander. We got a special guest. His name's Kerner, a.k.a. Churro Daddy in the house.
Lord Kerner. Lord Churro.
The newest nickname. I love it.
Lord Churro. He's in the house. Yeah, this is going to be a fully spoilerized episode reviewing The Rise of Skywalker, which we have seen twice now in the past 2 days, which is cool. Lots of thoughts, lots of feelings.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about all of them and much more.
I've written down a lot. I mean, there's...
You wrote down some notes, yeah?
You know what? Yeah, before...
Oh, did you? I didn't realize you did that.
Not during the movie, but like I was kind of putting down some bullet points that I wanted to hit because there's so much to fucking talk about, man.
I think we all as a group talked a good bit about it on Thursday and on Friday night, so it's definitely fresh in the head. And then I picked up the visual dictionary earlier today so we can pull that open and get some extra facts pulled up.
Franks.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was already out. Like I said,
A couple people was sharing screenshots and said like leaked from the visual dictionary, and then I looked it up on Amazon and was like, oh, it's out. I'm just gonna go buy it.
That's what threw me off. You
Leaked.
You said leaked. I'm like, oh, that means it's not
Leaked from
available.
Barnes and Noble. So it's real.
It's episode 116?
216.
216, my bad. Yeah.
Episode 66.
We're coming up on season
Season or year?
6 of the podcast.
Anniversary number 6 happens in January.
Yeah, we're about a month away.
2020.
Less than a month.
Hard to believe. 2020.
It is. You know, we started this fucking thing back when Force Awakens was getting ready to come out.
So it was that year, yeah.
It's been a whole span of the sequel trilogy here.
Beginning of beginning of 2015.
2014.
14. Well, that's a good question. When was
Wait,
it?
I thought it was released 15.
We started January 2014.
Oh yeah.
The first trailer came out Thanksgiving that year, or
That's
Black
right.
Friday.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I remember that.
And then
yeah.
2015 was episode 7. So
Because one of the first things we were discussing, well,
good timing by accident.
yeah, but I mean, as we rambled through the journey of building this shithead, Disney had bought out, and that was kind of one of the main things that we were discussing over and over.
Yep. Remember, we all had a lot of predictions for episode 7 that were totally wrong.
I don't remember
I
that.
said a lot of dumb shit. I was so annoyed at Kylo Ren's name and his lightsaber, and now he's my favorite character.
Yeah, you guys talked major shit on his lightsaber. You're like, oh, little dicks on the
We
side.
everyone was so annoyed about that for some reason.
It's different, so it has to be bad.
You're gonna burn your hand off with that thing.
Well, I was so blind and deluded back then. I was talking mad shit about everything. I was a
Delusions.
fucking idiot. And now here we are. Episode 9 is released. Skywalker Saga's over.
So much, man. I truly think it made everything else better. I felt like they touched upon the prequels. I felt like they were hard tied. Well, character wise, the OT original trilogy characters were in it. You know, especially with Leia
It was
and Lando and Chewie and C-3PO. I mean, it was good, but
It was
they did.
jam fucking packed.
It's one of the funnest movies I've watched in a long time. Just, especially my first watch through was just so much fun sitting there watching it.
There's a lot to take in. Whether you liked everything or not, it's still a lot to take in. I can't imagine why people would just absolutely hate that movie, though.
It's because
I was thinking about
we
that
talked
today.
about it off the air. It's just people looking to hate on it.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, you're going to have that anywhere. Just people are shitty. But I try to give other people the realm of, I just didn't like it, and that's fine. But just to go in and be like, that was absolute trash. I didn't want any of that. It's like, what exactly did you want? Because we've had a redo of 4 and 7. 5 was something brand new all over again.
8.
Or 8, I'm sorry. And then 9 was something we've never seen before. And they pushed it into, and I'll get into it a little deeper, but it felt like expanded universe novelization crazy shit.
Yeah.
That I would have never expected to see on screen. And they just said, fuck it, we're doing it.
It was very surreal just seeing even like Force Heal, Force Drain, because you do those powers in Jedi Outcast, Academy, KOTOR.
Yeah, it felt like a blend of an EU novel and a video game, just kind of in one. Like the fact that he did that
Even
lightning,
that's not good enough.
That lightning at the end, I felt like I was reading that, and everything just started falling and shutting down, and he was so powerful.
Force Storm, dude.
But instead, we felt it, we heard it. That sound,
It's crazy.
and you're like,
Very surreal.
Oh my
Especially my first watch through is very surreal. Especially the opening scene. I'm like, holy shit. I remember I even grabbed your arm. I was like, dude, oh my God, this is happening. I created you.
Dude.
when he
I
started
created
talking,
Snoke,
because you don't know what to expect.
Right.
Like, is it like a hologram? Like, is he really back? And then you see it turn a corner and that lightning's all over his face, like that's flashing back and forth. You're like, he's there. Kinda. That's him, but what the fuck's wrong with him?
He's missing a finger.
He's missing fingers.
He's a reanimated corpse, basically.
Yeah. So
It's so
Literally
creepy.
doing things from the shadows because that's all he can do. Yeah.
it's like less than 2 minutes in, we see Kylo be savagery and murdering people on that planet. Then he's flying through that Laffy Taffy in space, the red Laffy Taffy, and then he walks into that Sith fucking floating death cube. What is that? Like they walk under it?
Yeah, I was wondering that too because it looks pretty epic. It almost looks like a oversized sandcrawler, like the top of it, just the way it's like angled and framed or whatever.
His secret lair or whatever.
But then it's like off the ground a little bit, so he just walks into it, walks under it. I was sitting next to Butterclone when we were watching on Thursday night for the premiere, and that's who we spent so much time reading comics, reading novels, playing KOTOR with back in the college days. So it was like all of our expanded universe goodness that we thought we would never see in a movie, like you mentioned, actually happening, and I was like kind of surprised at most of it, and I was just like, dude, I can't believe we're doing this. They're fucking doing it. They went there. They actually pulled this shit off.
And we theorized a lot.
Yeah.
And we were right about a surprising amount of shit. I mean, we laughed about it when we said that. What if Darth Bane, when it started, he started passing that shit on the essence transferred all the way through? While that's not 100% accurate,
Yeah.
it's essentially, from a certain point of view, exactly what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
Strike me down, and we will all become you, and we will be Sith and complete and reborn. And you're like, wait a second.
We shall become one. So we'll get into the details here, but
I
did mention it's spoilers, so don't fucking complain.
Yeah, hard spoilers here. Now, before I forget, you know what would have been really fucking cool?
Tell me.
Is when he was electrocuting himself, which, if I'm going to complain about something, the whole electrocuting himself, I was like,
Just stop it.
I mean, that's
just stop using Force lightning.
It makes complete sense because if you strike him down, you become the Sith because blah, blah, blah. But he has to basically take himself out using his own hatred, which I get it,
Yeah, I get it too.
Morally and all that. But it was first of all, it was the creepiest, scariest Star Wars film of all time. It went zombie-like and like exorcism shits. Like it was really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Something that I was hoping and wishing for. They did it a little bit with the Jedi side of it, where you heard all the Jedi talking to her and rise, Rey, blah blah blah. When Sidious was dying, I was hoping you started hearing the ancient Sith screaming, like in the background.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're
Like,
all dying. They're playing.
They're
failed.
all dying.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I think we got enough of the ancient Sith just in that choir, that crowd or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah, the reason why they didn't do that is because we have never fucking heard another Sith speak
I was thinking
that
like,
Sidious might have killed.
whose voice can you use?
It would have been Plagueis and beyond, because he didn't kill Dooku, Grievous, Maul, Vader. He didn't kill any of those people. We wouldn't have heard them.
It would have made sense. Would not have made sense.
So I stand on my own feet right there. I still think it would have been cool to be like hearing them like pull apart or something.
They
crazy.
could have maybe used the Bane voice from Clone Wars episode or something.
Yeah.
They wanted
Yeah.
to.
Bring Mark Hamill back to do that.
What's up, Isaac? Welcome. Okay, do you guys just want to jump right into it?
Let's drink the fuck. Whoa. I just
We've
totally
been
used
jumping
the
right
wrong
into it.
words. Let's jump the F into it. Friends. What's the
all right,
first
so-
thing on... That's a long list.
Oh, you
So
actually got, like,
there was I wrote down
bullet points and everything.
major thoughts about it, and then I was gonna dive into specific things, events, happenings.
I'm
So
down.
overall thoughts. I thought it was the funniest Star Wars film
It was.
to date by far.
It topped a lot of things as far as Star Wars goes. And yeah, humor was one of them.
And they did it so well, and we discussed that was a huge issue in 8, whether we liked it or not. I know a lot of people had issues with the humor in 8. I was one of them. I didn't think it was well done.
It felt forced.
It felt forced. It felt like they were reciting a joke and not being funny. Like, it was kind of cringy, honestly. This was so natural.
Thanks to Babu.
Everybody was just talking shit to each other, and when like Poe would talk shit to Finn, you're a stormtrooper, you're a scavenger, we're gonna do this all fucking day. Like, what the fuck?
I love that.
I was like, yes, it's not a joke, it's a situation, and he's getting pissed. More of that. Mm-hmm. Babu Frick was awesome, and that
dude.
was he was the
One of the highlights.
the innocent comedic relief.
I mean,
like, it was so good.
He makes Salacious Crumb look stupid or look not funny at all.
But
Yeah,
he
exactly.
was that Salacious Crumb
Yeah.
character. He just
Yeah.
was able to speak. So
Being
Uh,
cackling and
Droid.
ridiculous.
Droid, I fixed
hey!
This is one of the movies where I wasn't irritated with C-3PO the whole time.
Yeah, he was fine.
His banter with Poe and everything was perfect.
He talks a lot, but it's all funny. It's all relevant. Yeah, that's a good point, because C-3PO can easily, you get enough of him real quick.
Yeah,
But
this one wasn't that
he
bad.
had a lot of screen time. I'm glad, it's kind of nice, because R2 also has a lot of fucking screen time in all of the other movies. He's always with Luke. He's always with Padme. He's always with Anakin. C-3PO is always the ones, you go stay with Queen or Padme,
Mistress Padme.
while R2 goes on the fucking adventure.
Yeah.
This time, C-3PO was the one on the adventure, and R2 was with Leia back.
Yeah, that was cool to see him like in the hood and stuff and actually like doing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Well-
quite wily,
well,
by
he
the way.
was-
In the hood.
He was quite
so
wily.
He was the key to get the information, so he had to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I liked it. It's good.
Dio was nice and funny too.
Dio was a
No, thank you.
thank you. No, thank you. Yep. Squeaky wheel.
Squeak eliminated.
Yeah, so I guess my point was funniest film,
Yep.
easily the funniest.
Yep.
I also put, and this is a personal opinion, craziest film. Like, they push so many boundaries, so many plot lines, so many
They went hard.
stories, so many force powers, so many they had to. Culmination of everything.
They went hard though. I was worried. So this is a thing, and we'll talk about fan reactions and stuff maybe at the end of this whole list and conversation. But I didn't think that they would go this level of what I'll call legend style or expanded universe style Star Wars in a movie, and they did, and that was really surprising to me.
Exactly.
I think that was my first tweet after we got out. I was like, they really fucking went there.
No, and it's
really
a very
did
good point, because all the films, for the most part, have kept it very human, very internal, very relatable. This one was like, zombie dude's coming back. He's everybody, and she's going to be the light side everybody, and it's going to be a death storm of lightning. Can you imagine that? You relate to that?
Rey and Kylo can use more force powers than Anakin and Obi-Wan. It's awesome.
Which is I'm fine
Prequels,
with that.
I'm fine with it
prequel
too.
level combat, which was fucking sweet.
I didn't think the lightsaber combat was prequel level. I thought the use of force powers was, though.
I love that. Even their jumps were cool, just their flips and yeah, was sweet.
The
Doing
shots
flips
were
and
cool
shit.
too. Like it was noticeably different than Rian Johnson. I'm not shitting on Rian Johnson. They all have their ways, but I do particularly like JJ's vision of the fights.
Yeah.
And everything, the angles, the darkness,
It
everything.
felt close to the people that were fighting. It wasn't like step back and watch them duel. It was like kind of in their faces as they were in the middle of combat. I thought that was an interesting way to shoot it.
When they were fighting on the Death Star remains, I felt like when they both did that like force hold or whatever you want, the block with each other's lightsabers. It wasn't like an out here thing. It was like right on the lightsaber, and you saw a hand, and you're like, "Fuck, man!"
Intimate.
And you can hear it. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
pulsating. That was so sweet.
And this is something that I'll just say it right now. I thought it was the best sounding film.
Best sound design.
Sound design.
It's hard to say.
Everything.
Bet they all have really fucking good sound design.
Well, and that's what, and I even said that's saying a lot.
Yeah,
From
that's
every lightsaber ignition, everything sounded so great. From like when they were fighting, when she was in his quarters and they swung a lightsaber and those like cherries or whatever fell on the ground. I don't know what it was, but when I heard that hit the ground, I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
And it was like prominent because it passed through the force into the quarters, but it was like, and then they didn't have to go that far. I felt like they focused on so many things.
Skywalker sound, baby.
Industrial. Light.
And magic.
And then Skywalker sound.
Island. Skywalker Ranch sound.
Craziest. So this might be another.
Colonel, what's top of your list? You haven't said anything.
Yeah. What the fuck happened?
I'm just,
It was the drunkest Star Wars.
dude. As far as it's so entertaining from start to finish, just a lot.
Well, that goes into what the fuck I said. No low points.
Good. Yeah. No, it wasn't no low points at all.
Yeah.
And that was episode 8. A lot of people had issues with it.
Which I don't know if
Several low points.
Yeah, and I guess that's maybe if you're capping off the entire saga, you kind of do have to go hard like that. But sometimes the low points make the high points better.
Yeah, it's like, it's just like writing a song. To make this heavier, do something light before it, and then it's that contrast. But all at the same time, let's get fucking killing because this thing needs to end.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you just need that thrash metal song, thrash metal fucking ending. Just let's fucking do it. Blow you up, throw you, kill you, death, lightning. What do you want? You want
Take all the Sith.
take all the
body.
Sith.
I mean, I think that might be the most badass opening scene of any. I can't think of, dude. It's so sweet.
I agree.
I know we already talked about it a little bit, but
Yeah, as far as like top of the Star Wars list, it's kind of how we opened your little list of notes that you made. Is
Episode 3 Space Battle is pretty amazing too, though. As far as
Yeah, they're
then-
very different.
best sound, funniest, best opening. Yeah, best opening. The crawl was kind of weird, but it opened strong.
I actually kind of agree.
The
I
Dead
thought
Speak.
The crawl was really
the
weird.
dead speak.
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's weird. I guess of the reviews that I've already listened to from other podcasts and YouTubers, I think that is one weird thing is they really set up the fact that Palpatine was back just in the crawl.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they're limited on time because it's only one movie, but it was just kind of weird that you just have to accept that he's back all of a sudden.
I mean, I feel like they just got it right out of the way in the first. I created Snoke. I mean, they just got it out of the way.
They weren't playing around with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like in the crawl. Palpy's back. Kylo's going after him. Let's fucking do this. By the way, first scene. Kylo's here. Palpy's back. What the fuck do you think?
Yeah.
I just said it.
That
Yeah.
got out of the way, but they
Let's
still
move on. This is they're all pissed.
It's good and bad.
They
Yeah.
took a while to finally tell us who Rey is related to. That took still forever. I feel like that was like 90 minutes in. If I had to like play our guess a scene game, was that like 90 minutes in?
I would say it was probably halfway through. Half to
God.
maybe 60%
Like,
of the way
that took
through.
forever. I know who you are. I'm just sitting at the edge of my seat. I'm like, okay, just tell me, and it still wouldn't tell me until they got on the ship.
The second
Yours, Grando.
the second viewing, I knew. I mean, I had to take the biggest piss, but I was like, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna wait. And because I was like, we haven't heard who she is yet, and I couldn't remember when did they say Palpatine.
On the ship, yeah.
And I was like, is it the hangar? Is it? I thought it might have been in the quarters. I was like, I don't think it was in the quarters.
It's the hangar. It's right before they get off.
Yep.
I'm the spy.
That's why I don't drink beers before movies, because I don't want to get a
Because I'm the
So
spy.
funny.
Oh man.
What's next on your list?
I thought that was funny with Hux. I thought that was great.
Oh, it was good.
Because he just doesn't like Kylo. He just wants to see Kylo fail, so fuck it.
Yeah, very childish of him for a Nazi psychopath
He's
to be
a
like
selfish bastard.
to be like,
I don't know.
it's mine.
When he grabbed the gun and did that, I wasn't expecting that. Were you? I wasn't.
No, we cheered.
Absolutely not.
We all cheered. It was a cool moment.
I like to do this myself. I'm the spy.
Well, it does say something about the First Order regardless. So everything was crumbling down. All the stormtroopers leaving. Finn was just an example of it, but obviously there's other complete legions leaving.
Yeah.
And even the fucking number one dude was like, Kylo Ren's kind of fucking around. I don't really like this either. I just want to see him lose. Fuck us winning.
Yeah. He just wants to see him fail. Like a true hater. Fucker.
Yeah.
True hater. He's got a personal vendetta against his bitch ass.
Yeah.
So just to build upon what we were talking about, there's no low points. I said while everything wasn't perfect from a certain point of view, there were no lulls in the story that lost my attention. Like I was just engaged the whole fucking time.
There's definitely no one can say, like for a casual fan, could go, that movie was boring. You definitely could not say that.
No, you cannot.
It's like, geez, if that doesn't entertain you, then you need to get your fucking pulse checked.
Wish people wouldn't just understand when they go in to watch this that, like, even if you think the OT is like the best of the best, there's still cringe in that. So if you go into a movie and you like see a couple awkward things and like that ruins the experience for you, like I don't understand what you expected, but every Star Wars movie has really cringy shit in it. That's part of the point.
You can go through every one and pick something out.
Everyone.
Well,
even 4, 5, and 6, and especially 7.
I'd say Empire is probably the least one, except it's weird when Yoda's being all goofy is the one weird that's like. But
he's on mushrooms.
He's testing Luke.
He's on mushrooms.
He's testing out Luke.
I mean, that one. Yeah. I have whatever. I have my reservations about them all.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all cheesy. They're all goofy.
Dude, there's a fart. There's a fart joke in episode 1.
Yeah.
Jar Jar gets fart in his face. Hey, use it.
He doesn't get farted on.
Fart in his face.
He receives fart into his eye.
Hey, use it.
Load complete.
This is quite some fart that you have given me.
Did you guys think episode 9 made all of the other ones better? Or do you think it stands alone a lot better?
I like
more
them
than
all in their own way.
It doesn't. I don't think it stands alone very well.
Absolutely not.
It really relies on everything, and that's okay.
You know, it would be sweet if there's like a 3-hour version that comes out on Blu-ray, which they won't do, but that'd be awesome.
I wish they would. That's my one.
Like
my one gripe.
Like Batman vs Superman has that R-rated super long version.
Wouldn't that be cool if they went that far?
That'd be awesome.
If they release a special R-rated or like extra or director's cut or something, which I know they'll never do.
Star Wars usually doesn't do that, except for the special editions.
I mean, I get it for a theatrical release to try to. That's the movie studio's goal, is keep it as short as possible for audiences. So
I don't know. They didn't fuck around with Endgame.
Yeah,
they knew.
3 hours on the dot.
Well, let me ask you then. I mean, you guys would have been happy either way, but if they cut it up, I mean, look at the Harry Potter series. They cut that number 7 book up into 2 movies.
No, I'm glad this was one movie, and it really only needed like an extra 15 minutes.
15 or 20. Yeah.
It didn't even be 3 hours. They just needed a little bit more.
They could have easily split it up into 2 movies.
I think they said in an article the first cut was 2 hours 35, and this was 2:21. That's like a 14-minute difference. That's all they needed.
They could have easily split it up into 2 movies. The end of the first part would have been the reveal that she's a Palpatine, and maybe even hint that and he's back and he's cackling. And then the second part is Bendemption and the killing of Sidious.
No, that it would have felt too slow and drawn out.
It would have felt like a Star Wars movie.
That would have pissed me off.
It felt a little more like a comic book movie.
It did feel like a comic book, though, because it just fucking moved right along. People are here now on this ship. This is what's happening. By the way, they're over here now. They're on a different ship. This is what's happening. Chewie's gone. By the way, he's back. We're going to go save him. He's already saved.
Yep.
Yeah, the pacing.
They land on that Star Destroyer after Chewie dies, and then she realizes. They fucking, okay, we're going to land here. Boop, boop, boop. Here he is. Let's fucking get the fuck out. Dude, it's like,
oh, wait, Dagger's here. I gotta go. You guys go over here. C-3PO, take this shit. Now they're back. Bring the Falcon. Get over here. I'm the spy. It's quick.
Here's the dagger. Kill a bunch.
What is it? They go Pasana, ship, Kojima, then Exegol. Is that the order?
Well, by the way, Kojima gets blown up.
Did I miss a spot?
And you don't even realize it.
That was cringe as fuck.
That was probably the worst part.
Oh, you don't like that?
No. Why did all the Star Destroyers have Death Star weapons on them? It's unnecessary.
Because it's
the fact that Palpatine is back with a giant fleet from the unknown regions is already a big enough threat.
No, it's a very good point.
You didn't need to give fucking planet-killing weapons and announce, oh, they all have planet-killing weaponry on the bottom of the Star Destroyers. That was just pointless.
Okay,
unless he's just making like a comedic nod to Episode 6.
There's your one cringe thing.
Haha, we did it again. I have a couple cringe things.
No, I completely agree, and we've always said that. I mean, they had it right there. They had it right fucking there. A fleet, just a fucking something producing a crazy fleet. Starforge. It's not a giant killing death ball.
Yeah.
It's just a factory.
Yeah.
But that's terrifying enough.
Oh, they really could have done that. I didn't
They
think about
could
that.
have done that and said, look,
That would have been sweet.
it's not all planet killing, but First Order's getting fucked around. The Resistance ain't much better than that, or is probably worse than that. If we just go in and do with this shit, with Palpatine back, we've got this shit on lock.
Speaking of First Order and the word First Order, do you think it's funny how obvious some of this stuff was? Like when 7 rolls around and the enemy is the First Order, isn't it so obvious that that is like the First Order and there's a second and a third and a fourth and a final order and it's Palpatine's contingency plan?
Well, I mean, we
feel
said
like
that as soon as we
No,
heard
I
the
know, but
name
I
First
feel like
Order.
we weren't sure if Palpatine was ever going to come back, and we thought because they did that in Legends, they would never do it on film. So we tried to like explain it away and come up with other theories about it, but it really just is the First Order in the line of many contingency plans.
I didn't think he was coming back until he came out in Chicago. I did not think he was coming back.
Well, I don't. Yeah, of course we didn't think that it would be that bold.
You know,
But do you think they planned it from the beginning?
I don't
No.
know if they planned on him coming
Definitely
back,
not, no.
but they had all the contingency plans and they were built into the fucking games. Like I kind of almost want to go back and replay the Battlefront 2
Yep.
campaign just because of that.
Yep.
Operation Cinder.
Yeah,
I don't know.
because the First Order is just an extension of the Empire,
Yeah.
Yep.
which makes sense that they are also stormtroopers and they also have TIE fighters and stuff. It doesn't make it that annoying anymore because they're just
Yeah.
they just never went away fully.
Why wouldn't Palpatine upgrade the ships at all?
He did.
Oh, did he?
They're newer, better versions of all those.
Oh, they all look classic.
Oh, you're talking about the fleet on Exegol.
Yeah.
I think in the dictionary it says they're bigger, but they're the same design
Yeah, I need to go
as
see
the
that.
Imperial class.
They just all have big wieners on the bottom of them and they all fuck around.
Palpatine, it's a classic. Imperial class Star Destroyer.
Yeah. So there was a lot of fan service.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole film. To be honest, and we were talking about that afterwards. If you're not a huge Star Wars fan, a lot of stuff, probably the majority of the fucking movie, you probably would have missed.
Yeah,
Like there's so much.
this is the one movie where you like have to be a hardcore fan to understand everything.
Well, let's talk about this. So, give me a few of them. I know them, but just list some of them off.
I think Palpatine, just his name being Palpatine, a casual might not even know.
a casual probably thinks,
Like-
oh, the Emperor.
like you're
and then she's a Palpatine. Well, which one's Palpatine?
Yeah.
Is he the senator from the first one?
Like I can guarantee you, when my mom sees this, she's gonna be like, "Who's Palpatine?" I guarantee it. And she has seen all the Star Wars movies. She's
I mean,
like,
that's
"No,
super casual.
no." but, she
but
has seen it.
still,
I'm just
yeah.
using my mom as an example. But
There's a lot of
There's
stuff
other-
that you're gonna miss.
Well,
You're
I'm going to
absolutely
see it
gonna
with my
miss.
whole family on Monday, so
you'll get a good reaction.
half of them are
on
going to
there.
be like, "What?"
Well, all the small fan service stuff, like Kylo, or I'm sorry, Ben, when he shoots and then looks, the blaster. I'm like, that's Han Solo. We see it in episode
See, I
7.
would. That's one thing that I would call like more of an Easter egg rather than fan service.
Wait, when Ben, is that what you said?
Shoots and
Oh,
then
yeah.
looks,
That's just a nice little nod to Han. It's not like fan
but
service.
no one else would even notice that or pay attention to it.
But it's just cool if they don't know why it's that.
I mean, I just took that as he still has the Force and he's just using the blaster.
I took that as well. My first.
Oh
time.
no, it's the exact. He shoots then turns. It's the exact shot that we see
In
on
7.
Takodana.
Yep.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
My first thought was Force, though.
Yeah, me too.
Reason I asked you to list them off because I wonder if there's things that are fan service. For example, in Rogue One, when the deformed guy, Doctor, he doesn't like you, I don't like you either. When they bump into him in the alley, that's obnoxious fan service that's in your face. A lot of stuff in Rise of Skywalker felt more like Easter eggs for hardcore fans, but just stuff that's cool in the movie for casual fans. You know what I mean? There's kind of like a difference there. Like it wasn't really obnoxious.
Yeah, I mean, I guess while it was just balls to the wall the whole time, I'm not saying it was a very convoluted storyline.
Yeah.
Like, there's a big evil guy. Whether you know who exactly he is, you clearly like he's evil, and even the bad guy from the other films is trying to kill him. Like, this is an issue.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
to me, the most ultimate movie villain is Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine. He has 3 fucking names. What do you want?
I used to not agree with you on that only because in the prequels he's mostly a senator or a chancellor, and in the original trilogy he's not in 2 of the 3 movies. But
Oh,
after this,
he has one scene in Empire now.
and
but
he's
yeah.
a fucking reanimated zombie bastard that's building an entire Sith fleet.
Well, to me, that makes
Yeah.
the effect of him better. The less you're in it, but when you're in it, you're fucking in it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
In it to win it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I guess it is a bunch of Easter eggs that you just get so much more out of the film if you know anything.
Right.
Like all of the voices, you start catching. I caught Mace right away when he speaks, but
I still missed Mace my second time.
I heard him every time.
I don't know why.
I missed Ahsoka.
Well-
See, there was like 3 women voices. I was like, I think that one was Leia, and then there was 2 others. I was like, I don't know which one's Ahsoka, which one's Adi Gala, and which one's Yaddle, and which one's
Ayla
I mean,
Shakir.
obviously I heard Yoda. That's
Illuminara. Yeah.
The other, I mean, the small one, which this was, I mean, I teared up 3 or 4 times during this film.
I only did twice.
Both viewings. The whole Ben Demption thing. Jesus.
Yeah, when he's
When
talking,
he's
talking
talking
to Han.
Well, his mom kills herself in trying to turn him, and then Han like completes the redemption. It's like, oh my God, this kid's been through so much, and he's been trying, like, almost trying not to be redeemed because he felt like maybe that was the only path.
Which is a beautiful thing as how they set up that comic, The Rise of Kylo Ren. This is all just circumstantial stuff. Like, he's not doing any of this because he's a bad person. It just happens to him, and then he looks at his options, and he's like, okay, I've been dealing with Snoke and talking to him. It's probably better if I make myself look like I did this on purpose and like I'm strong and I'm in charge and I'm bad.
Yeah.
And that's like one first step when the Jedi Temple blows up that just keeps propelling him down this path.
Well, I wonder, did he assume that Luke was dead?
He, in the comic, he's after that happens, he's walking towards the main temple and he says why. Like he's shouting at Luke, like, why did you try to do that? Because he wants to figure out the answer. And then the temple explodes and he didn't have anything to do with it. And he's shocked and he's trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah, my first watch, I'm thinking like, man, he's so wishy-washy. But my second watch, I was like, okay, his mom clearly saved him, which I totally get, which I'm all for, yeah.
Yeah, Ben Demption was fine. I thought they did it tastefully. That it wasn't crazy.
I know, just
they
'cause
planted the seeds so hardcore
5
in
minutes-
all the other films.
I mean,
so.
Yeah.
My first watch 5 minutes before that, he crushes the damn Wayfinder, and then 5 minutes later he turns. What?
No, they planted that seed in
No, but it's
fucking
fu- yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah.
Didn't know if he had the power to, or the will to do it. What does he say?
Being called to the light.
Yeah. I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
The strength to do it. Thank you.
I love
Yeah.
how they replayed that whole scene with
Yeah.
Han when he has that vision of the memory of his dad. They replay that whole scene on the bridge, and he's like repeating the same lines because
Basically,
he's like
you're- yeah.
remembering that.
It's like a recreation of that scene. Yeah.
But this time he's like, Han's fucking turning him around.
He'll be with you always.
Tell you what, Kylo's got a hell of an arm. I threw a Hail Mary with that lightsaber.
Yep. You had to get the fuck out of here.
It was awesome.
You know that moon is not the same moon of Endor that that's in Return of the Jedi,
It's
which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, it looks like a completely different moon.
I thought it could be close enough. I mean, just could be an ocean on the same moon of Endor that we saw, but it's different.
How did you guys feel about the actual visuals, like the everything?
per the usual, stunning.
Just perfect.
Absolutely
I
stunning.
said basically it was perfect outside of the young flashback faces, which I thought was unnecessary, but
Yeah, it looked a little video gamey.
it
Yeah.
looked very video gamey.
just
It looked like they were using a fucking phone app, and they were just like, all right, face, and then they just like implanted Luke's
I thought
young
Luke was
face
fine, but,
on this.
but Leia looked like a video game cutscene.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think they had to do that anyways. I know why they wanted to just show that Leia actually did train at some point.
What's their little sparring battles legit? She actually,
yeah.
she gets the best of Luke in that fight.
Yeah.
It's
I
also
I know they're just training, but
Well,
still.
that's a Legends trope, I think. Wasn't Leia maybe
Stronger?
making that up? I
No,
thought there was some thread in the old Legends books that Leia actually does become stronger than Luke.
well, he
think
becomes Jesus. Does
Well,
she become
she's the real hope.
Jesus?
I think it was George's plan to have, if George was doing it through episode 9, Leia would have, taken over.
Well, I mean,
Leia is taking over.
that just goes back to Yoda when he says there is another.
Yeah.
Leia's strong enough to make it happen, Captain.
It just didn't. I don't think it added anything with them taking the blinders off.
I know what you mean.
I was like, dude, okay, green lightsaber,
Yeah.
and then you focus in. And it's like clearly that's his green lightsaber. Let's assume the other one with tits is Leia. Okay.
I was actually surprised hers was blue because that's a Jedi Guardian typically, and I wouldn't think she would be very combat-y.
I don't think. I mean, I think they
Should've-
strayed away from that.
Should have been yellow.
I think that was only a KOTOR thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that? Is it is?
Well, I mean, they kind of stay true to that because Obi-Wan's more of a attacker. Like, let's figure things out later.
Qui-Gon is all Force.
Yeah, but
What I was saying is, I don't think they had to do that flashback at all, regardless of taking the mask off.
Yeah,
I just think it was unnecessary.
I wasn't expecting that either when he started talking. Like, oh, they're doing a
You could have
flashback.
just explained it.
yeah, I'm not sure if it was necessary. But I think going that far, it was kind of cool to see. Like, Leia was a kind of a badass. Which is cool. The whole blinder thing, I was like, you didn't need to go that far.
Wonder what?
It was cool to see. Sorry
That's all right.
that like Luke feels like more of a Jedi. What did we just say? Guardian.
Luke. Well, if Luke with green would be a consular, but I guess it doesn't really.
Well, what are the three? Guardian.
Consular and Sentinel.
Sentinel, yeah.
Yeah, so he seems like more of a let's swing first and figure it out later. She seems like very much like a more of a sentinel. Like I have this ability, and that's why we did this cutscene because I could kick the shit out of my brother, but also I don't even have my lightsaber now. I'm more of a let's keep the peace.
Oh, yeah.
Let's figure things out. Let me teach Rey. Let me.
Well, that would be more green then, isn't that?
I don't really give a
Consular.
shit.
Sentinel's a little bit of both. Consular is like straight Force powers. That's why in KOTOR, like if you're a consular, you just need to focus on Force powers, and then blue is mostly combat.
Yeah.
She's just she's just more of a peacekeeper. She's a politician. That's what she is by trade, by all of
in
it.
general.
I do like why she stopped her training because she foresaw it would impact her son. That was cool. I thought why she chose to stop.
It is also cool that, right when she had a vision of her son dying, it's like, well, I'm going to try to prevent that. That's the best thing to do. Remember when Anakin tried to prevent his shit?
No one remembers that. They didn't know. They didn't know why he did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he had left a journal, they could have figured that shit out.
A journal. Guys, don't try to prevent anything.
Anakin had a diary.
I had a vision of my
Give
hot
yourself
pocket.
to the Force.
My hot pocket fell on the ground. I got to prevent that.
Yoda said, train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose.
Yeah.
When she saw that, she should have just been like, well, that sucks, but I got to just give it up.
Let me ask you this.
Ask me. I'm ready for it.
So in the prequels, well, it's known that the Jedi Order, it's like against the rules to love. We've kind of come, I don't want to say full circle, but the game has changed to let's save the ones that we love. Like how Poe is all out of it. He's like, how are we gonna win? And Lando's like, well, we had each other. That's actually not a bad Lando. Huh?
That was
Well,
pretty
Lando
good.
makes a great point. Like you're never really ready. Like when are you ready for shit? You really
Just do it, yeah.
You're never really truly ready for.
Fake it till you make it.
Exactly. You're never really truly ready for anything. You just have to, yeah.
You're gonna always find a reason why you're not ready. Something might happen. This might happen. Just fucking do it and we'll figure it out then.
Yeah. It's just like in sports, like a big game, you never feel truly ready, but you gotta fucking play or a big fight or something. You gotta
Some
have
things are
fight.
stronger than blood.
Yeah.
That was a fucking knee kicker. Because they're playing
People
both.
don't get that.
They're
dude.
playing both sides of that though. Some things are stronger than blood, but at the same time, blood is what redeemed Kylo. But on the Rey side,
And Leia
blood
also,
was the thing holding her back, and she was able at the end. I'm Rey Skywalker.
Leia-
She was just able to just leave that shit behind
Yeah.
and move the fuck on and be her own person.
Yeah.
and Leia also says, don't be afraid of who you are, which is a little bit of a contradiction, I guess.
It is,
Yeah.
but that's not. It's not a huge contradiction because she chooses who she is.
Yeah.
She isn't a Palpatine. Palpatine's just a name.
Yeah, you can't help how you're fucking born. So yeah, if you want to disown a name, just fucking disown it.
And that's
To
so I
me,
don't think it's a contradiction.
That's almost like as if like
it's not a contradiction.
I'm saying.
will you listen to
this
him?
will be a weird analogy, but if someone in your family was like a serial killer, like fucking
Serial
was-
fucking.
if
Wait,
it
are we
was-
fucking a serial
if, like-
killer or
okay,
which one?
serial killer that
if like
fucks.
fucking Ted Bundy was your dad, you gotta change your fucking last name. That's what she did, basically.
I'm changing it to Al Bundy.
Option B.
That would work.
What's that? What's C?
He says, "Okay, we got two options." No, Peggy says, "You got two options. A, you can stay here with me. B,
B.
You can stay here with me tonight, B.
Oh god.
Oh.
Probably the funniest sitcom ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry, that's off topic. But
Let's see here. What else I got? So much, man. That's why I wrote some shit down. Oh, so
It is
the
quite a bit.
the cheesiness of the movie. There was
What do you mean
there were some lines in that movie that I was like,
Yeah, they did the comic book movie thing where they're like they have to announce the threat.
yeah.
Also an Anakin thing. But yeah, that's where I think the extra length could have helped. They could have, I don't know, had a scene or a transmission or something that made them realize that there was a giant threat out there in the unknown regions instead of announcing it like Palpatine, it's him. He's back all this time.
There was, because even the Hobbit dude in the back was like,
Hobbit
it's an
dude.
ancient Sith thing that I only know about, but I yell it right now.
that's the guy from Lord of the Rings, right?
One of them.
What's
Yeah,
his name?
Pip.
Yeah, I forget his name.
And then, of course,
From
Poe
Lost.
later on. Oh, they all have giant death ball rays that can blow up an entire thing. Of course, of
course
when does this line end?
Of course they do.
Yeah.
And then
hated
the other
that.
one, which was at such a pinnacle time, and it was kind of cringy to me. But when Rey is blocking with the lightsaber and she pulls the other one and I am all of the Jedi. Bam! I was like,
Well,
God, isn't there any other way you could say that? He just got done saying, I am all the Sith, we are one, you can't defeat me. And I was like, okay, that's kind of badass. And she's like, but I am all the Jedi. I was like,
Yeah.
sit down, sister.
well, yeah.
That's at the bottom of my cringe list.
My two biggest gripes are, I wish it was 20 minutes longer, the pacing, and then B, Palpatine just getting taken out too quickly after being fully restored.
He folds under his own hatred. That was his only weakness. He was playing off of other people's hatred. And as soon as people stop hating, he crumbles under his own
Well,
shit.
he was never planning on being fully restored. That was an accident because he sapped their life and he realized that they were a force dyad. That's what they call it. The fact that they're connected.
Yeah, their bond.
And then he recreates himself from their force energy.
Yeah, their bond reminded me of Bastila and Revan.
Revan.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
that's a lot of EU stuff was pulled in for this shit. It was awesome.
Which when you play, and them kissing when you play as a girl or as a dude, you can make out with Bastila eventually. At least I did.
Why?
That's what we needed to hear.
What you knew?
Palpatine should have made out with Rey.
You
That's
guys
what
never
happened.
did that?
Cheers, guys.
Actually, don't think.
Thanks
you
for
guys
joining
have
the
done
show.
that. 'Cause I've talked about that. You guys.
No, I thought it was cool. Yeah, Palpatine maybe got taken out a little too early. I don't know.
I would have liked like a nice 10-minute epic battle, and then like maybe Force Ghost Anakin to come in and
I
help.
just want to know if you're getting shocked with your own lightning, why don't you just stop shooting her? with
Exactly.
lightning?
Once you realize
You're down the rabbit hole. I think it truly there's
But
so
I
much
don't even
more
want to
emotion.
say anything because Return of the Jedi, Vader picks him up and throws him down a hole. I
Yeah.
can't really get mad at that.
I think it really is. It plays off such pure emotion that once you get angry, it's hard to just say, I'm no longer angry. I'm happy now. We're
No,
good.
I got you.
So
Yeah.
when he's like, I'm going to fucking kill you all.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then she's like, no, you're not. I'm a Jedi. We're all the Jedi. Blah, 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 blah. What was I going to say? Oh, so to compare the I am all the Jedi kind of soft cringe for me, I was like, Luke has somewhat of a similar thing, and he says, I am a Jedi, like my father before me. But I thought that line's a lot more tasteful, even though it kind of does the same thing.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, I am a Jedi. And you're like, ooh, that's kind of cringy. Shut
It's
the
the
fuck
same
up,
thing
Jedi.
depending on their circumstances.
Like my
though.
father before me. Just add a little spice to it. Just make it kind of
Well, Rey couldn't say that.
oh man,
'Cause
I
her dad
know.
was
I'm a
evil Sith Lord,
Jedi,
Darth
like
Sidious.
not my grandfather, which is you, by the way. How you doing?
Like all the ones you killed, you fucking idiot.
Got your holiday.
Bastard.
I got your Life Day card in the mail. You only sent $50, 50 Republics this year. You doing hard on cash this week?
Oh my god.
The fuck you doing? Where's Grandma?
Which grandma? Sorry. Darkness here on Twitch.
Is ranting about
The Star Destroyers.
Destroyers,
They
yeah.
acted like stationary targets instead of menacing ships. Yeah, well, they kind of explained that, though, because they couldn't really take off or do anything. And when there's 1,000 of them all clumped together and the ships are flying in between them, they can't really shoot because they'll blow each other up.
I felt stupid. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, look at all of these ships. Why not? There's 12 ships showed up. Just shoot the fuck out of them. And then Poe says, just go in between them, and they'll end up shooting each other. And I was
Yeah.
like, God, that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We'll just sit in between these two.
Well, that's why the fleets have, like, ships of multiple sizes because they all serve a different purpose. So just because there's 1,000 Star Destroyers doesn't mean they can do anything if they're all huddled together.
Nothing.
And the fucking ships are in between.
Nothing can match the speed of
But we do agree
Interceptor.
with you. We talked about this before you joined the live chat about the Death Star mounted weapons was just fucking cringe. Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
It is just, it's so ingrained to Star Wars. Like, everything needs a laser.
A planet-killing weapon.
Everything
As
needs a
Poe said,
laser.
A planet-killing weapon.
Using this
Laser.
I'll call it a Death Star.
Why can't they go more, like, psychotic into, like, a genocide of a species?
Chemical warfare or something?
Chemical warfare. Like, a genocide of a species. Mass Effect played that so well.
Yeah.
And if we saw that on screen where
Or like some
it felt like
ancient Sith weapon or something.
like a sword, like, well, so did you guys think or assume that Palpatine was still alive because of some Sith sorcery? Like, he even said, I have died before or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So, like, what exactly is keeping him alive? Did they find him and, like, reanimate him using Sith sorcery? And he's
That's
like,
what
still,
Shinobi said.
He's still kind of like ghost being
the
there.
Sith alchemy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Shinobi said. So I'm assuming it probably had something to do with those people that were in his throne room that he told them to get out when Luke showed up. Is probably the people closest to him. They found his body and they reanimated him with Sith magic, which is fucking crazy.
They just keep a Sith journal every night before bed, talk into this thing, and then we'll upload that into you. You got the most
What?
updated USB. As soon as you die, we'll just plug in and we'll.
Yeah, he's almost like hooked up to
are you
life.
talking about?
He's like hooked up to life support in a way, I guess, but he can still function in a way. Like I wasn't sure what he could do until when he says stand together, die together. Then I was like, oh, he can still like do shit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Darkness is still trying to
Still
get pissed
ranting.
here. Ray is so he said, let me understand this. Ray is the one who kills the greatest Sith Lord when Yoda and others couldn't kill him. So first of all,
You miss the point of the movie, friend. If
she's
that's what
got
you think.
all the Jedi behind her though.
well, first of all, Yoda tried to actually kill him. That's not how you defeat him. And you saw Mace almost defeat him, and then Anakin comes in and fucks it all
Mace-
up. Mace had it right fucking there.
He does defeat him.
He does defeat him.
According to George Lucas, but I always took that scene as he threw that fight to appear weak, as I always interpreted the scene.
Same with me.
But George always says, no, it's always been Mace overpowers Palpatine. If you listen to the DVD commentary from 2005.
So Darkness is still on his rant. He said it's like a middle finger to the hardcore Star Wars fans. What you got to understand is about Star Wars, it's about the good guy main character. It always has been since it started with Luke in Episode 4. Rey is so strong because even though she is a Palpatine, she has a good spirit and a good heart, and she's always trying to do the right thing no matter what. That's why when she says she's going to go destroy Palpatine, Finn's like, that doesn't sound like you because you're like 100% great-spirited. So the whole point is like Palpatine needed to be killed by somebody who had just the best intentions.
Well,
and she stands there in his face and even says, I won't hate, even because that's what you want me to do, not even when it comes to you.
well, in that moment, that's when she first learns that he killed her parents, and she's fucking like, I'm going to
They were
destroy
good
this
people.
motherfucker.
She's tapping
Yeah.
into the dark side.
So
It was cool to see her like come to that realization that they left her because they were saving her. So she almost like immediately forgave them because she realized what they were saving her from, which was him.
Right.
Grandpa's an evil bastard.
Grandpa's the ultimate
Grandpa's
fucking
crazy.
The ultimate fucking sociopath.
Yeah.
is
And I would
fucking-
also say it really mirrors what Luke does in Return of the Jedi, because he couldn't have killed Vader in combat by himself. Vader lost because Luke and his good heart tried to bring him back from the dark side.
What you're saying, Luke? Who couldn't kill? Sorry, who couldn't kill who in combat?
Luke.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, yeah, he would definitely lose one-on-one to Palpatine. Yeah,
one's
for
Luke?
sure.
Which one's Luke?
Vader's son.
No, and
That's what I assumed you meant. You didn't say a name. I'm just making sure.
And we just
Yeah.
discussed that. Like, the way Palpatine gains power is having other people hate each other. One, because it keeps everybody in fear,
Yeah.
so they're not going to rise up. And two, if you're getting pissed, now you're on board with me.
Yeah.
As soon as you start hating other people, you're in my boat.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to stand here and, like, say, no, you're kind of a douchebag for hating everybody, but I'm not going to hate you just because.
That's also why she couldn't strike him down. She had to kill him with his own.
He had to fall
Lightning.
under his own hatred.
They definitely mirrored Return of the Jedi when he opened up the shit and was like,
They all
your
have
friends.
that. Look, your friends are still here.
"Your friends are dying. You need to strike me down now.
Sam?
Just do it.
See him?
They don't have
Perform
long.
the ritual."
That dude Evan says it made me so hyped that they included Kanan from that. It
Kanan
was
and
it was
Ahsoka,
such a nod to every level of Star Wars. I mean, from Kanan to the prequels to off-screen Adi Gala. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I think there's one scene with her and she's sitting on the console in episode 1, like next to Yaddle.
And Ayla, who didn't talk
And they all said
on screen. I mean,
Yoda's like, we're not going to train him, and she's in the background and goes,
Wait, Ayla's on the console in episode 1?
I think so. She got that headdress. He's like
talking about Adi Galia. I just mentioned Ayla's voice was in that scene as
okay.
well, even though she didn't talk
I only
in
know
the movie.
Ayla from episode 3 when she gets shot up.
Adi Gala is
Talking about two different people.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, I'm flipping. Sorry.
Have another beer, please.
Your high as drunk.
We're out.
You're drunk as hungry. So, I guess we did touch upon Bendemption. How do you think that was smooth, or do you think?
Absolutely.
We talked that the seeds were planted. It made sense. I thought the only person that was gonna fully bring him back was his mother, which she kind of sparked it, but his dad, the memory of his dad, finished it. I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. Now, I did feel like the lightsaber battle the lightsaber battle between him and Rey to the redemption.
Her up.
To the redemption was like too quick. It was like, die, mom. My mom died. Hey, dad.
Well,
I'll follow her.
You can almost say she sacrificed herself to save him as well.
Well, she healed him, yeah.
Also, it was Rey was fucking dark side right there, because she was so pissed. Leia snapped her out of it.
Yeah. She
Oh,
did.
really?
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Leia dying snapped her out of it.
Yeah,
and
she stops
realized,
fighting and
like,
goes,
oh fuck!
"Leia."
I just stabbed. I just stabbed and killed someone,
Yeah.
and Leia died, and that snaps her out of it, and she kind of. Okay, well, I almost went to the dark side, so I'm gonna go hibernate on Octo for a while.
I'm going to heal you and destroy your ship because it's kind of cool looking.
I'm gonna do what you did, Luke. I was wrong.
So if I'm going to actually pick one thing out of the entire movie that I was like, there was some of the Luke stuff that I was like,
Really? I liked it all.
I'm not saying I hated it. I'm not even saying I disliked it. It was just like, really? I don't know.
Like, it was great.
Like the retconning of that's not how you treat a lightsaber.
It's not a retcon.
I don't think it's a retcon.
He's making fun of himself.
Yeah,
I thought he's making fun of episode 8.
No, he's making
He
fun of
probably
himself
saw it.
because he made the wrong decision.
Well, to me, from a certain point of view, while as a viewer, they were making fun of episode 8 right there.
To me, Star Wars sucks.
He can be shitty. You know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess from a certain point of view, maybe. But from another point of view, I think he's just talking shit at himself because he's like, I was wrong.
Yep.
He tells her
Which
that
is
he was
fine.
wrong.
No one's perfect. It's fine.
He tells her he was wrong.
It's all right.
He did give a little fucking queer ass smile when he raised the X-wing out of the water. He's trying to emulate Yoda.
And why was his hair? I'm all about hair being on point, but his hair was really fucking long, like too long. Like, why was his hair so long?
He just had like some weird swipe over
It
that
was
made it look a little.
long. It was way longer than it was in fucking Last Jedi. I feel like.
Yeah,
it should have been just normal because I feel like your Force Ghost should be your primary the way you looked. Yeah,
It was close enough.
I feel like it was a little long. It should have just been like Return the Jedi length or something.
Remember when they changed Kylo's scar placement just because it looked better?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Because it was on his nose and then they moved it to his eye like Anakin. They
2
should
inches.
have just force healed that. Gone.
You building stuff?
Yeah, it's like Wolverine. Boom, healed.
Should heal it.
Christ. What do you think about Kylo getting his mask back on?
I loved it. It was good. I like how he had it on and off, so you could still see his emotions too.
Yeah,
I mean, rebuilding it though.
Oh, I love that scene. Caesar.
They retconned episode 8.
I didn't think it was necessary.
Planet of the Apes. Caesar was fixing it for him.
It was Caesar.
It does look like Caesar so much.
I actually thought it was kind of cool in episode 8 that he kind of abandoned it and he became his own and he was like, you know what? Snoke had a kind of a point there. I can just be fucking pissed as myself and I get shit done anyways.
Because, I mean, usually you wear a mask for a reason, except for Revan wore a mask just for the fuck of it because he's a savage.
I guess you would say that after he defeated Snoke in 8, that little plot device was over. Because Snoke was out of the picture, and then if he wanted to wear the mask just because he wanted to, he can go back to that without feeling like guilty about it.
Well, it felt more ceremonial. Like, because now he's back to being the leader of the Knights of Ren. So when he's with
Right.
when he's with his crew, let's wear the fucking mask.
Yeah.
Because that's when they were fixing it. That's who was around him. But I didn't think it was 100% necessary. I thought you could just be dark or maskless Kylo until you redeem.
But he has it all for the most part, if you think about it.
He does. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like halfway through battles, he's like,
I mean,
what do you think now, bitch? I'm
He
like,
tells
Look at my hair.
he tells her she's a Palpatine, and then after that he takes it off. And then,
Yeah.
and then he has it off the rest of the movie.
What do you think about that? Just saying, you are a Palpatine, you are Rey Palpatine. Do you think it sounds weird?
I felt like great relief. Like finally, just fucking tell me.
No, I'm glad I know. I just think it sounds weird.
well, first of all, Palpatine as a name is a weird fucking name.
That's
Rey
yeah.
Palpatine.
You are Ray Tangerine.
You almost they almost should have said you are Sidious. No, I'm just kidding.
You are Sidious.
That wouldn't have worked because that's
Ray,
the Sith name.
you are pissed.
All right, so now, as we're talking about Palpatine now, the biggest question was always who are Rey's parents.
They are still.
So
It's
his
still a question, kind of, in my mind.
his son was her dad, and
Yes, that's how grandchildren.
Oh my god, I hate you. Meaning
You're the one that's saying
meaning he
it.
didn't have a daughter. I'm just
So
going
his
through.
dad was his son.
Why
and then
didn't-
is his daughter?
Why didn't his son want to be a Sith Lord Savage then? Is what I'm asking.
Why don't they have control of their load?
That's what I mean. Like her parents chose to be nobody. I get that, but like,
Yeah.
why and how did they find out? And what about their dad being a crazy Sith emperor made them run away? And when was Palpatine getting freaky? And
Dude.
who is Rey's grandma?
He's horny as fuck, man.
Who's his grandma?
I said this to you guys, but I was scared and also like, oh my god, are they going to do that? Because we were talking about how does Palpatine have offspring, and I thought, well, one way's consensual and one way's not.
Dark Sith situation.
You actually
And
said, yeah, that
They would
actually,
and I
never
was
do that,
like-
though.
I actually didn't have that thought until you said, like, oh, you're right. You could be just out there.
If he raped somebody, that would have been by far the darkest thing ever.
yeah.
Which
They
hey,
can't do
if
that.
you
but-
want to, I know if if you really want to, you can interpret it that way if you want. Because he's
Well,
a
we can't interpret it because we don't know yet.
yeah, we have no
I'm
clue.
just
don't know
saying,
who the mom is.
Palpatine being a fucking sociopath that he is, who knows?
It
You
gives me
won't-
shivers.
You won't have sex with me, then I will do it.
One more White Claw, bitch. One more White Claw.
Let's say, is there? Yeah, pull that shit up.
How did you guys feel about Leia's sacrifice?
I thought it was great, and I thought that the
Same.
fact that she stayed in limbo until Ben was gone was beautiful.
It was a very nice touch.
She's the only one that could have brought him back. Yeah.
It was a very nice touch. We did see kind of sparks of Rey getting fucking pissed during, or at least frustrated during her training.
Let's do this before I bust out the visual dictionary. Let's walk through the movie really quick and just touch on a few scenes.
I can walk through the movie. I have no clue
There's
where they go.
there's some stuff that happened.
After the Palpatine,
we haven't talked about.
after the the Kylo Palpatine, I have no fucking clue where they go.
So it goes to
Rey floating
Finn
with
and
rocks?
Poe getting that
Oh yeah, the jump
transmission from the spy. And then they get the fuck out of there, and then it goes to Rey training. And then as she's running through the course, Kylo uses the Vader's mask to reach out to the lightsaber. I think is what was happening.
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought, because there's a connection between the mask and the lightsaber. So he reached out to it and started fucking with it, and then it like threw her off.
Disrupted her
And she was
training, yeah.
so mad. And I thought that was a great thing, because now you know that she's a Palpatine. You're like, oh, she was fucking starting to get some dark side pissed goodness going on. Also, Luke says in episode 8, she went straight to the dark when she was meditating.
Did Luke know?
I think it's only Leia and
Well, he says that Leia knows, so how would he
Paul
know
or
that?
Finn says he knows.
What?
well, Finn says she don't know what she's fighting. Which you?
Well, I thought Finn said because he was talking to Poe about it,
See,
and
that's the
Finn
way-
said no. Leia knew.
See, that's the way I took it. But then you guys were like, "Oh no, it's Finn just being adapting the Force."
No. He's just saying Leia knows what she's going through because Leia's a Jedi, or was a Jedi.
Okay.
Or has the
Oh.
Force or whatever. He's just trying to tell Poe, like, she's more than just a soldier. Like, she has some extra shit she has to deal with because she's Force sensitive. So, and
Yeah.
he obviously knows that now. And now that Finn is Force sensitive, that's obviously what he was going to tell her. Is Rey, I don't tell you that I'm Force sensitive, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, please tell me how pissed you are about this movie.
Oh, Jamie's on. What's up, buddy?
So, yeah, and then Rey's lifting rocks, blah, blah, blah. She trains, she gets pissed, she gets angry. She has a confrontation with Poe because he brings the Falcon back on fire.
That lifting rocks thing, that felt super video game cutscene.
Yep.
Yeah,
I loved it. Like
Yep.
they you come in and you just see someone floating, and then you're like, oh, that's Rey. Holy shit, look at her now.
I liked her little flip too.
And I'm glad they didn't do like a montage of her training. Like she obviously does a little bit of training right after that. She runs the course, but she kind of fails and struggles with it, and we just talked about that. But it was cool to just see her, like, you could see how she'd advanced from 8 already with the help of Leia.
Yeah.
But it was just like, boom, rocks. Get ready for this shit.
Yep. And then she calls Leia Master. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
What happens
So
next?
Jay Hamey has the same gripe as us. He just wished it was longer, which, yeah, it's everybody.
He said he's not pissed.
The way the edit would...
4 times?
The edit was...
You've gone 4 times already?
The edit was rough.
Damn, you're a savage.
I walked out on the kiss scene twice. Why?
Wait, what?
He said he walked out on the kiss scene.
I walked out.
Yeah, but I still, even though it was a long kiss, it was like, thank you for saving me.
That's more of a
kiss.
That's more of a make-out kiss, though. That's not like a little peck.
Oh, I thought it was like, thank you for saving me. And then, like, by kissing, it was like the rest of his life force went to her, and then he died.
I think there was obviously romantic tension between
I think
the two
that
of
was a
them.
If there was tongue,
definitely no tongue, but that was
left to be seen.
It
But yeah, that last boner took the rest of his life force away.
that last boner. The blood loss. Damn it. I need that flow.
They get the transmission. They understand what they have to go do. They go to Pisana.
No blood loss. Damn blood loss. Sorry.
What do you think about Lando popping up on Pisana?
Perfect.
Yeah,
I thought that I thought he was used very tastefully.
Yeah.
He wasn't a huge thing, but he was a pivotal. Like, he was the one to go out and recruit everybody. And I'm like, that's the perfect job for that fucker.
Yep.
Don't have him flying around killing everything in sight.
It's me.
Yeah,
Hey!
the second he shot the stormtrooper, I'm like, guarantee that's Lando. My first watch through, and boom, it's him. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I thought Leia just had some spies.
Really?
'cause she
That didn't cross your
fucking
mind?
knows
That was
everybody.
that was my immediate thought because I thought they were mirroring Return of the Jedi, that he was in a disguise.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense after thinking about it. But to be honest, I forgot Lando was in the movie while I was watching it the first time because I was so so focused. I was like, Palpatine? Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh yeah, Jamie did say about the kiss. Because they're a Force dyad, they're like two halves of the same whole. They said goodbye.
Oh, okay.
Which is what you said. That does make sense. I think you could interpret it either way.
I don't think it was a love
romantic
kiss.
or that it was like saying goodbye and thank you.
Yeah, I really think it was. Yeah, thank you, Jamie. The I am the spy. I thought I'm still not okay with the Hux thing. I'm not pissed at it. I don't think it ruins anything. But it was like, he was such a psychopath, killer, Hitler person.
I see what you mean, especially based on like what we've seen of his past in the comics and everything. It does make him like less intimidating and scary. The fact that he just now has a personal vendetta against Kylo and doesn't care about anything else.
But yeah, it's like everything you built up, just because this one person's pissed at you, you threw it all away. Every fucking thing.
It's bigger than him being pissed at you. He's been bullying you since he joined the First Order. You're never really in control because Kylo Ren's always going to be above you.
Well,
he killed Supreme Leader Snoke, and then you were trying to take over, and then he choked the fuck out of you.
So what happened was he kept falling in rank. As soon, like after Starkiller and the Hosnian system, which was like his pinnacle, Snoke dies. So now the one person who was like, yes, he's very useful, he dies.
Base got blown up.
So yeah, his base got blown up. Your boss dies, so you get knocked down. Now Palpatine, now you got a new boss, and Kylo stronger, and he's got the Knights of Ren, and you're just falling in these ranks.
General Pride comes in.
And then Pride comes in, and you're just almost...
With this little cane.
You're all of a
beating the shit out of
sudden...
people.
You're all of a sudden a fucking nobody.
I just feel like him and Kylo were just constantly just one-upped each other throughout 7 and 8. They were just trying
But I thought that was a cool dynamic on the dark side, where it's like a non-Force user and a Force user, a bloodline crazy Force user, are kind of at odds, but they're both doing crazy things.
Right.
And then 9, it was just like...
because then when Snoke's out of the picture, Kylo is in control. Hux can't do shit now. It's not like he can get Supreme Leader's favor back. Like, he's dead.
I mean, the biggest part to me is in Episode 8 when Hux is walking out of the throne room and they smirk at each other. He just smirks at him like, oh, I just talked to the boss, bitch. I don't know. That's...
Yeah.
Meaning Snoke is like the ultimate boss at the time.
Yeah, but then he's dead.
And then he's dead. Hogan.
I haven't seen you in so
Oh
long.
shit, Hogan's on.
What do we leave off in our run through of the timeline? Pisana. So then they go search out in the desert. They find the shit. She heals the snake.
Yep.
They get the dagger. They get the ship.
There
and
were some
then-
classic. So we were talking about this. The Goonies stuff was like not the greatest to me. The hardcore Goonies stuff.
I haven't seen Goonies, so
You've
I've
seen
seen
Goonies?
parts.
Yeah, of course.
So
I don't
like when they
remember.
find the skeleton in the snake pit underground, I was like, okay, that's
Makes
that
total
dude from
sense.
the Goonies. They're
Yeah.
gonna find the thing,
Yeah.
and then they did the exact same thing when they got to the Endor, the moon of Endor.
Yep.
Where they use it as like a map. I was like, ooh, I don't mind it, but come on. Can't think of anything else.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that scene obviously foreshadowed what was to come with the healing, and I liked how she handled it well. And I thought too was why
totally
can't
fine.
why can't I do that in Fallen Order?
Well,
with these
it's
fucking creatures.
You know what it felt like? It felt like they knew if they didn't do something like that, someone was going to say after watching the movie, how did they know exactly where to go in the ruins of the Death Star? Well, then what we're going to do is we're going to have the knife, and it's going to have a big arrow, and they're going to stand on this beach. And I'm like, really? You had to go that far?
My gripe about that is that the dagger and everything feels like something that's 1,000 years old going to like an ancient relic or a temple. The fact that the Death Star blew up only 30 years ago,
Yeah.
but somebody made an ancient Sith dagger with runes on it and a compass, that just doesn't make sense because it's like 15 years old.
I swear, it felt like they were trying to cover up a small plot hole of how she knew exactly where to go in a Death Star. She's never been on it. But then you could just be like, she's a goddamn Force user.
She
can
sensed the dark side
sense
energy
it.
in the
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Well, Luke wrote about I don't know if I caught it. Why did Luke stop his trail there? Why did he just?
He couldn't find the
What would
the Wayfinder on the desert planet.
Okay.
That's where
Because
his,
the dude was underground dead,
yeah, he thought
trapped in the fucking
Yeah.
snake hole.
So he was going after the Jedi Hunter guy. What's the Jedi Hunter's name?
Ochi.
Okay. And then he just.
Ho Chi Minh.
They couldn't find him because he was already dead.
Shoot a load on your chin.
So the key for Luke was he needed to be in the quicksand. If he would have gotten the quicksand, it would have been good.
Yeah, he should have just accidentally fallen down the fucking
So
devil's snare,
actually, if you
devil's
think about
snare.
it, in a way, they found that kind of by accident. Yeah.
Yeah, they
did.
absolutely did.
They stumbled upon
Will
it.
of the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of assumptions with the Force and shit, which is okay. They had to wrap it up some way, but
Yeah.
yeah, there was one of the most Star Wars thing ever, where they get blown up, they fall into the sand, and then it eats them, and I was like, come on! I was like, okay, let's get this
Totally fine.
fun shit over with.
And then, oh yeah, so they find the ship. They're about to leave. Kylo Ren comes swooping down the fucking canyon,
Yep.
which was, by the way, one of the most badass vehicle scenes in all of Star Wars.
From the sound,
Just the fact
and
that we're that close to the tie and it's like on the ground, skirting across the desert, was amazing.
you could like hear the sand kicking up and hitting the TIE fighter.
yeah,
Like,
it was amazing. So nice.
Well, why didn't Kylo shoot at Rey? It ruined. I'm just kidding.
Because he didn't want to kill her.
I know. You're
He
right.
wants to turn her.
Yeah, you're right.
But that was cool. We saw that obviously in the very first teaser, but now that we see that she actually has her lightsaber and cuts the wing off of
cuts
the
the
tie
wing
was
off.
fucking badass. Then they play tug of war of the shuttle, and then she is so angry that he's beating her, or preventing her, I should say. She gets angry, uses the dark side, and fucking electrocutes it. And I was shocked. I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
that's the first time I teared up when we thought Chewie died, and not even the
Yep.
fact that Chewie died. There was. Listen, it could have just been the dagger on that fucking ship, and I would have teared up anyways. It was such a pivotal moment for Rey.
It was just her reaction.
And
to
Kylo
it,
was
yeah.
there, and she was so surprised at it, and
She
there was
scared herself.
there was so much going on that I probably would have teared up anyways. And then it just added on that Chewie dies,
Yeah.
and you're like, what the fuck? Like I really did not expect that.
Shocking.
That felt very video game-ish too, where they were tugging on the
Well,
ship
yeah,
both at the same time,
obviously,
Yeah.
and I was like,
my
holy.
my first thought was Force Unleashed. I'm like, oh my god, I was in my chair like, seriously, this is happening right now. Holy
You know
shit.
what I thought?
I
is-
was too. I was like, what? They did that in the movie? I don't believe it.
Yeah,
Me either.
yeah.
I was like,
they just shoved in a good way. They shoved expanded universe legend
Like-
stuff. Like, let's fucking do this, man.
When Poe yells out, "Hey, it's Chewie's getting away," I was like, "Oh well, they're gonna have to track him down." Then she puts her arm. I'm like, what? And then it starts shaking.
know.
I'm like, holy
To be
shit.
honest,
shocking.
the hatred in me was like, why didn't Vader use that in Rogue One when the Tantive 4 was flying away?
Exactly.
He should have just been like, crushed. Okay, I'm done with that.
I know. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All right, then they got to go keep chasing shit down. So they go to Kijimi. They find Zori Bliss and Babu Freak
Babu Freak.
The best part of the movie.
and Dio.
Hey!
Babu, dude.
Frito-Lay.
Droid is ready.
I want Babu to pop up right here, right now, and drink a beer with me.
Droid is blank. Blank, blank.
I can only drink 4 ounces of beer because I'm. How much does he weigh? Probably.
I ordered that.
4 ounces.
I ordered that Black Series 3PO that comes with Babu Freak.
Is there's got to be
I'm gonna put him like right here on my monitor. He's
There's
like that tall.
got to be a Babu Freak pop.
Oh yeah, good call. I think there'll be a lot more toys coming out now that the movie's out.
He's no joke. Like one of the if not like the funniest characters.
Hey! Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
he's
it's
hilarious.
By the way, jumping back to the very beginning, I don't know if we mentioned this on the show. We talked about it last night, but that opening planet is Mustafar, where Kylo is
Yeah, you
wrecking
did
all those
confirm
dudes.
that.
Blows my mind.
Yeah.
There are different sections of planets, but they imply it's a volcanic planet
You know,
altogether. But I
you-
guess there's other sections where it's got trees and shit.
I guess my question would be, why would they make it Mustafar if it's not noticeably Mustafar? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of, after the fact, making that Mustafar? Do you think it adds anything?
Well, that's exactly why I thought when they saw the Death Star ruins that was Endor. It's just a different part of Endor, or
Yeah.
the same moon of Endor.
To me,
Right.
To me, that almost looks like at the beginning, almost looks like Solace just from Battlefront 2015, based on the way it looks. But okay, so yeah, you have it pulled up right here.
But I guess my question is, it doesn't add anything. You don't realize it's Mustafar. You could watch the movie over and over and over.
because Palpatine had one of the Wayfinders and Vader had the other Wayfinder to Exegol. That's why.
Okay. So you're saying one of the Wayfinders was on the Death Star with Emperor,
With Palpatine.
and
yeah.
the other one was in Vader's castle.
with Vader, yeah.
Ah, okay.
And Kylo opens that Sith arc. That's what they call it, an arc, like the Ark of the Covenant, and finds the Wayfinder in there.
Sith Art. Oh yeah, yeah.
Like after he kills all those guys, he like opens the.
He opens that footlocker.
Yes, exactly. The Sith footlocker.
Footlocker. I
Yeah.
like that sound effect of this. The stone moving was sweet.
That was so fucking
that
cool.
whole.
There was just a sense of like ancient
Sith Eternal.
stuff. The whole film, like as the movement of stuff was like, this thing has not been moved
Yeah.
in like 50 years, but
Yeah.
it contains ancient shit.
I like.
So
I even
sweet.
like the little like whispers of when Kylo was flying his ship. That was a bad impersonation, but the whispering as he was flying.
That's actually it was whisper.
It was his hair flowing.
You know what I mean.
He's got that Head and
We
Shoulders.
always,
you know?
we
It
will
moves-
say one thing:
it
Kylo's
moves
hair
strong.
was fucking on point in that
Always
opening
on
scene,
point,
dude.
yeah.
It would look great in that opening scene.
What happens next? Oh, they go back. She senses Chewie. They're surprised. They go back to the Star Destroyer. They try to find him.
Oh, you jumped around. So Poe meets Babu Freak.
yeah.
Yep.
They
Zori.
fuck C-3PO up,
The back of the head.
and he becomes brand new again.
Yep.
Oh, and then he does give them the location of the thing, which
He-
I didn't catch the first time. He says coordinate something, coordinate something, coordinate something
On the south
on the
beach.
south shore.
Yeah.
Of Endor.
Only this blade tells. Only this blade tells.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is, it's fine, but
I get it.
I was thinking that, oh, did they get all that? They can remember all that?
then they jump up. They split up on the ship.
Because she senses the dagger is there too.
Yeah.
So she goes to Kylo Ren's bedroom,
How crazy?
sniffing his underwear.
How crazy is it that she touched Vader's helmet? I thought that was kind of not like a teary thing, but I was like, God damn. She touches it, and you're like,
Did she touch it?
I thought she touched it.
Does she touch it?
I thought she just looked at
I
it
was
and
trying
went to the
think that,
dagger.
too. I don't think she touches it.
Oh, I thought she
I could
touched
be
it.
wrong. Could be wrong.
I could be wrong too. I need to see it a third time.
Maybe she didn't touch it.
I don't
I
think-
wanted her to touch it. I still wanted her to touch it.
I
wanted
thought
to
she
touch
was
it
just
too.
in the room.
You want to touch it?
And then Kylo senses her, and then they fight through their Force connection, which was so fucking cool. They're fighting through their Force bond, even though they're not physically in the same location.
You know, I'm okay
That
with
was
that.
so crazy.
Like, even if it's...
Yeah, Jay Hammy confirmed didn't touch it. Thank you.
He doesn't know what the fuck
You saw it 4 times.
It's just jammy.
You saw it 4 times.
jams.
I trust
Jimmy
someone to see
John's
it
over here.
4 times.
Moon's over Jay Hammy.
Whoa.
We've said that before.
No tomatoes,
That's not
please.
original. No tomatoes on that.
Exactly. It's a good part of it.
God.
So yeah, how cool is it? They were fighting.
We also
their
find Dio.
Force connection.
Badass. Another funny fucker.
No, thank you.
So thank you. No, thank you. So that is where we see, I'm the spy. And you're like, ooh, everybody's like, oh, shit. Wait a minute. That's how I felt. I was like, oh my God, what? Why?
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with okay with it.
I'm fine with it too. I just, yeah. Am I happy with it? There's a difference between being fine with it and being like, oh yeah, that's what I wanted.
I got you.
So,
and then Kylo comes back on the ship, and then they start walking in circles. They're about to talk.
yeah.
And then he says, "You're his granddaughter. You're a Palpatine."
You're a Palpatine. No, she should have just killed everyone right then.
Just fucking Force lightning. Yeah.
I am. Look what I can do.
And then we hadn't talked about this at all, but I thought it was fucking sweet when the Falcon kicks in the thrusters and it knocks everybody back, and just Kylo just haunches down. And
Force magnet.
Dude, that was so cool.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Yeah.
That was cool. And then what happens?
She kills everything, right?
They go on the ship.
Pretty much.
She says, I want to destroy Palpatine.
They go back to the rebel base, don't they? Because she has to tell Leia.
No, they go right to Endor. And because he says
right.
the landing gear's down, they crash land,
Yeah.
they meet Jana.
Xana tries to say, oh, the water's too choppy, gotta wait till the morning. She says, fuck that, it'll
That's
take too long.
That's a nice check mark on Finn's storyline, where there are other people, other stormtroopers that resisted,
that defected and put their
defected.
weapons down, yeah.
That was nice. It was a really nice touch.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem forced. You know, they were on another part of the fucking galaxy, and they're slowly finding out that there are people that are rising up. And that was just kind of this first inkling, and then it culminates in everybody showing up, and they're just people.
Yeah.
Which actually, when you said that was kind of a bad line, I loved it. I was like,
I didn't say that.
oh,
Hogan or
I
Zale
didn't
said
say
that.
oh, I kind of liked it. I was like, that's cool. People are rising up. That's a fucking revolution, man.
I'm sick of your bullshit.
Even Wedge showed up. Wedge came out of retirement on whatever the fuck he was at.
They're sick of
He
your
has
Sith bullshit.
What does he say? He has one line. Nice flying, Lando, or something like that.
Yep.
It's like it.
I'm Wedge, I think is what he says.
Remember me from the old one?
I'm you and McDonald's uncle.
This is what you fans wanted, isn't it? Here I am. I'm back.
Worst
That's
thing
what he said.
ever.
Still
what he
didn't get
said.
paid enough. This sucks. Yeah.
Damn it! They only paid me $50,000 for this scene. Not gonna be enough.
I wonder how much he was paid for that.
I don't even try to look at that.
He
shit.
should have said, "Good shot,
You
Jansen."
probably could find good shot.
Good shot.
Where's Jansen? Why didn't they bring Jansen back?
Where's the Rogue 2 guy? Rogue 2.
Yeah, why did
This
they bring
is-
him back? They should have brought Porkins back as a Force Ghost.
As a Force ghost.
Put him in this shit.
Dude, I
No one's ever really gone.
Ooh.
No one's ever.
No one's ever really gone.
Actually,
Palpatine's over here, a fucking zombie. Like you were goddamn.
Yeah, but they
right.
retconned
well,
it.
we talked about stuff that wasn't a trailer. That line wasn't in the movie. Wasn't in it.
What do you mean?
That was an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an 8, but not 9. That's all.
Yeah. No one's ever really gone.
Pissed. Forget it.
He said because they
Wait.
put it in the trailer, but it wasn't in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's
They just pulled it from 8.
yeah, it's just a true. Yeah,
It's an 8.
yeah, you're right.
The other stuff Luke said was in there though.
No one's ever really gone. Palpatine is not really gone.
He's back.
Even now,
You never know. The Sith aren't gone. Somebody is gonna pop up.
being pissed isn't gone.
Okay,
So
what else?
always
What
someone
What
out
else
there
happens?
pissed.
Going in this light speed.
So yeah, then after that she gets the Wayfinder. We haven't talked about the Vision. She fights her Vision.
Yeah, that was cool.
herself. Yeah.
You know, yeah, and I'm glad that's all it was. That's what I think we were hoping what it was.
Yep.
Where she just kind of like faces her demon self and then gets the fuck out. And it was quick.
Yep.
It was
Creepy.
kind of creepy, quick, sudden. It was jarring, and then it ended, and that was it. I was
She had
like-
some Bilbo Baggins
And a
teeth.
sweet double-bladed lightsaber.
Yeah, that
and
was
then
cool.
she gets confronted by Kylo, and then they duel it out on the fucking
The
Death
only
Star.
way you're
After
going
he-
to Exegol is
Yeah.
with me.
after he crushes the Wayfinder.
God
Yeah.
damn, Kylo, you're so smart.
It's
And then
probably one of
and then
Vader's most
and then
important.
and they fight. Grant thought it was her ship. Well, we skipped a lot there. Kylo turns there.
Force
You
lighting,
skipped-
blah, blah,
you
blah, blah,
skipped
blah.
Bendemption. You skipped all of Bendemption.
Redemption.
I thought it was just interesting that you just see how good of a fighter Kylo is. Like, he destroyed her in that fight.
yeah.
She was beat down, and if it wasn't for Leia intervening, Rey would have been not stuck on the dark side, but really tapped into it, and then Kylo would have never came back.
Isn't it kind of weird that, at certain times, Kylo felt throughout this whole sequel trilogy, like at the very beginning of 7, he's super strong. Then at the very end of 7, he seems kind of weak because he killed his dad and he was shot by a fucking bowcaster.
He's all.
But
over
then,
the place.
like as he's still split, he gets like strong in 8 again, and he fucking finds himself and wants to kill Kylo. He kills Snoke. Like, you're split to the bone, and then he cuts him in fucking half. 2 scenes later, you're like, how split is he now, bitch? You look split. Get split.
He found resolve in that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like as they evolved Kylo's character, like, he actually did become stronger, even though he was split. Did you guys feel like he was maybe pulling a little bit from the light side and the dark side? Like, he was kind of riding that line?
I feel like him having some qualms with being dark side only and maybe being called back to the light doesn't affect his ability as a fighter, though.
You know what just crossed my mind? So in episode 8, Snoke spins her around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he ignites it and kills his true enemy. What did Palpatine really want him to do there now? Now that we know it's Palpatine controlling him.
I don't think Palpatine was controlling Snoke.
Do you think he just
He created him and put him into place and said, do what the fuck you want, because you don't matter anyways. You could fuck it all up. I just need some time.
No, he probably had some guidance. I mean, Snoke obviously was trying to twist Kylo and get him.
But meaning,
because that could have been.
It would have killed his
new-
granddaughter right there if Kylo would have went through with it.
Do you think that Snoke was in contact with Palpatine the whole time?
I don't know.
That's the way I take it.
Kind of the same way Kylo, because he walks into that hallway and he's talking to Palpatine,
But
just
it's
staring
he's
at
just
the
there by
wall,
himself, yeah.
and then walks away.
Stormtroopers walk up. Supreme Leader, what the fuck you doing?
You okay?
Sorry, I was listening to an audiobook.
Sorry, death sticks. Kicking in here, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Because, like, if Palpatine was controlling Snoke and Kylo killed Rey.
See, I don't like the
Yeah,
idea
it's
of him
impossible.
controlling Snoke. That's too much on Palpatine's plate. Just to be like constantly like, okay, now Snoke's falling asleep. Let me rock him to sleep. Like, I don't like that. Let
I
him
see
need some
what
eye
you're
drops.
saying. He just
let Snoke be himself.
He just created a dark side entity, not a good one. He's just a 7'2", Shaquille O'Neal height, fucking fucked up looking dude. What's his species? Pull the visual dictionary. What was he? What is he? Snoke.
Literally created by Palpatine.
Just says.
It's just humanoid, whatever bits and pieces are
so
left.
he's a 7 foot tall human.
No, he's not a human.
He's
He's
just
an oid.
It says unknown.
Oh, okay.
And then they changed it now that the movie's out on Wikipedia. It says he was created by literally it says he was created by Palpatine.
supreme leader. All right, so this might spark some controversy here because you mentioned that earlier and not on the show here.
So I looked at the visual dictionary. No, I know exactly what you're going to talk about. It's about Snoke, right?
No.
Oh, never mind.
The timeline they are altering.
Oh yeah, they changed
The
the
BSI from BBY.
Yeah, so they're at least in. I don't know if they're changing that like across the whole entire saga, but in the visual dictionary here, they're changing the years references to the Starkiller base incident.
So instead of BBY, ABY, and BBY,
It's BSI and ASI
Before Starkiller incident
and
is
after.
what it is now.
isn't that kind of cringy?
I mean, BBY was
Why
cringy
do
to
they
begin
call it
with.
an incident? I think that's a little more than an incident. That's a fucking ordeal. It should be. That's a fucking big ordeal.
Before the Starkiller shit show.
Starkiller shit show. What's the difference between an ordeal and an incident? Oh my god! There's a lot more cussing.
Jesus
There's a
Christ.
lot more cussing during an ordeal
We need churros. Just kidding.
Welcome, Cameron Smith.
before the
So
incident.
what were you going to say about them changing the time?
I don't. It doesn't change anything. It really. It's just
a
it's-
new reference for
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
but
it
it's
really
like
doesn't.
what does it add? What does it take away? Like why?
I think
why
what-
spend time deciding that? I guess is my question.
I'm just so used to BBY before
Everything-
the Battle of Yavin. Before the
Everything
Battle
was
of
already
Yavin.
set up.
Well, the Battle of Yavin isn't really it shouldn't have been like a strong marker for like a time change anyways.
Yeah, I don't know why that always was like.
This is how it feels.
It should have been like the end of the New Republic or something.
Going forward, Tuesdays are now going to just be called Blue Days. just because. Well, why would you make that? Why would you change that? That doesn't change anything.
Right, that's not necessary. Yeah.
So why spend time changing Tuesday?
I don't know.
I that's the true question. I'm not hating it. I'm just saying why spend time on it?
Don't know.
Make me a Badu Freak goddamn pop instead. Spend time on that.
Look that up, actually.
Yeah, pull that shit up.
Smoke species was creepy Sith clone. So let me ask you this: did you think?
Or lazy writing.
No,
yeah,
it's not out.
I mean,
yet.
I think at the end of the day, there's no way they were planning on Palpatine coming back.
Oh, it is out.
Oh, there you go.
Look at that.
Smuggler's Bounty exclusive. God damn it.
It's not available ever.
December Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty. Can I get this?
Look at that Joker thing to the right. Jesus, that's kind of fucking
Was this
creepy.
posted on November 11th?
Shit.
Badu Freak.
Ooh.
What species is Badu Freak?
I'll look it up in a second. Funko Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty box.
Babu Freak. Babu Frick.
I'm getting this. All right.
Badu Baby Frick.
Because this is how I got the Count Dooku pop. It was only in the Smuggler's Bounty box.
Okay.
Cool. Yep, I'm doing it. Thank you, Google. Ooh.
Look at his face.
Holy shit, look at this.
What is that?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Darkside Ray.
Knight of Ren and then Darkside Ray.
Fuck. You,
Dude, she
where
looks
are all
like-
these toys coming
She
from,
looks like
yo?
Bastila. She looks so much like Bastila. Even in that scene, the
The yellow lightsaber scene?
Dude, are we going to get all the Knights of Ren?
hers is red when she turns. In KOTOR.
Fuck, yes, dude.
Getting all the Knights of Ren, you're saying?
I hope so. Yeah, if they make them all is what I mean. Oh, yeah. Holy shit, that's so sweet. They're like chrome almost. Great.
Red-eyed C-3PO.
Dude, they look sweet.
They kind of look really bad. I hate the eyeballs on all of them.
Oh, that's something different. That's Disney something or other. All right, anyways. Sorry. Got distracted.
Oh, man.
What else?
So let's get to the end of the movie. Let's get to the end of the movie.
So yeah,
With the Palpy, one of the coolest things I've ever seen is Kylo and Rey use their bond to pass the lightsaber. I was like, oh,
That was amazing.
fuck, man.
That was amazing.
And that was something that like they planted all those seeds. He took the necklace, was able to analyze it and find out where she was.
Also, Ryan Johnson created that in 8.
She swung her lightsaber and hit those beads, and they went all over. And like
Yeah.
it was like all right in front of us, but oh my god, he was in trouble. And then he's like, whoa! And I loved his little like, okay, that
Yeah.
works. I love it. I love
So
it, dude.
sweet.
I love it.
Yeah, so what do we think about Ben Solo? I thought I wanted a little more screen time with him, but it was so cool to see him as Ben Solo.
yeah.
I really, really loved everything that Ben Solo did. And even Glass Armor, or was it you guys that said, I hate when he says ouch? I was like, he's human again.
No, that was Glass Armor. I didn't.
I
Mind
loved it.
I didn't mind.
I
it
don't
either.
care.
I didn't
Yeah,
mind
no, it was
either.
awesome.
Everything that Ben Solo does. Ben!
I thought it was
and
savage just having the fucking blaster. He's just running up with a blaster. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
god, he's about
that
to
was
run in
cool.
here with the Emperor and have
Yeah.
a blaster.
Well, how Han Solo of that? Like, he's just barreling in with a blaster.
Yeah.
Awesome. But I don't know how many of you guys, you listeners, missed and or just weren't paying attention, because I missed it the first time. When he's talking to his dad on the Death Star remains, and he says, Dad, and there's nothing else, and Han Solo says, I know. I'm like, oh, what an insinuated I love you. Oh, my God, tears. Come on.
Yep. Ben's finally back.
Well, you know what's funny is I was tearing up just because he said the word dad. And I
Yes,
was
me
like,
too.
I was like, boom, he's back to Ben. He's back to fucking
Yeah,
Ben. And then that's what I was so focused on the first viewing that I didn't even realize Han said, I know.
Yeah, is that the first time he says Dad? Because every other time he says Han.
So there's, yeah.
Han Solo.
Yeah,
Han Solo.
This is weird because no one ever
a
calls
good
their
point.
no one ever calls their dad by their fucking first name. It's weird.
Yeah. But so we start seeing Ben become human, or Kylo become human again, where he says dad. He's doing all this shit. He took off his robes. One of the cool, it was kind of cringy, but I loved it cringy in a good way almost, where you finally see Ben Solo smile
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah, after they
You've
kiss,
never
yeah.
seen him smile. Well, yeah, but he like realizes he's done something good. He saved a girl. He saved the scavenger. He's
back.
and then he like died. So
Yep. Yeah, no, it was good. Ben Demption, I didn't know if I wanted it early on. For
So I
example,
feel like at one point you didn't want it.
Yeah.
I feel like past episodes you were like, of course you talk so much during.
it was
the
too
podcast, so-
obvious though. But it's like, but if you're gonna do it the right way. And I
yeah,
think they
no,
did it the right
I
way.
was totally happy with it, yeah.
And they did the right way with his mom being the one to help him.
Mom and dad. It was
Yeah, both. Yeah.
It was a dual job. And as far as Raylo goes, I'm very happy that they both didn't survive and like fall in love together and that live happily ever after.
I still argue it's not a love kiss. It's a
Yeah.
thank you for saving me kiss.
Very happy. Very happy with that.
It could have been a 2-minute long kiss, I still think. It's like, dude, you just saved my goddamn life. I know I healed you 10 minutes ago on the Death Star wreckage, but you just saved my fucking life, bro.
Yeah.
Turn of the leaf, bro.
Depends on your point of view.
Okay, let's get into the fucking meat and potatoes of this fucking movie.
Palpatine.
Palpatine is back. Zombie Palpatine.
Everything.
Everything.
And per the usual, Ian McDiarmid just fucking nails it.
Dude, it's
He
the
is
scariest,
Amazing.
scariest Star Wars film. By far. It's so creepy. From the very first scene, you walk in and you just hear him talking and you see all the bubbling and the Snokes and shit.
Oh yeah.
And
All
you're
those
like,
guys
and
doing
you're just
chemistry
like,
experiments.
dude, Palpatine doesn't even need to be there, and I'm already creeped out. He's like walking through this experimental Joker's lab.
Going
Like,
to
it's
the
fucking
tomb,
creepy.
giant
Yeah, that opening scene, you
statues.
could almost argue you didn't even need to show his face. You could have just shown a hooded dude, and we could have just been like, kind of know who it is.
Or it could have just been black the whole time, and
Until
then
the
like you
end,
just see
yeah.
a lightning strike, and then his face like is all.
Yeah, the way they did the lighting there, when it was flashing, it looked like his face was like changing shape every time the light flashed on it. It was absolutely, oh my god, dude,
It was super creepy.
terrifying.
It was super creepy. So happy they went that far. We've always argued. Let's see how dark, how scary, how like horror. Let's make this shit crazy scary, dude.
to me,
and they did
yeah.
it.
Yeah, and even crazier at the end when he's like being carried by that giant arm.
Ugh.
God, he can't even walk. He's that
just-
much of a corpse.
He just wants to be struck down with, yeah.
It's-
I love the line, with the stroke of her saber. Does he say single stroke or just stroke? I think he just says stroke of her saber.
With the swing.
I know he says stroke of her saber.
Look what you have made.
Do it!
That was awesome.
Which, of course, people laughed on our first viewing, which I do.
Oh, that was great.
It was like the same force power hold up that Snoke was doing to Rey, though. Did you see like their bodies shaking? It was like the same thing when Snoke, you will give me everything.
Yeah.
And then, but it was both of them, and I was like, oh my god! And he's just sucking the life out of them.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
How did you guys? So they both fell. Kylo starts getting back up, and he like holds that vendetta against him. Yo, fucking piece of shit, granddad, push your bitch ass down the hole.
Exactly.
And I was
Coming
like,
full
yes,
circle now.
That was
Yes.
funny.
Push
That
him,
was-
do it.
That was the ultimate payback.
And then the perfect callback to earlier in the film. Rey's laying there, still like out of energy, can't fucking do it. And she's just be with me. And they are, and you're like, oh. And then it's so beautiful because that's. So he steals all their power. They fall to the ground. He starts doing the electrical storm thing, which is one of the bone-chillingest things I've ever seen in Star Wars.
It was amazing.
And that's from the sound,
yes.
the sound to the visuals,
Especially in
to
IMAX.
to the feeling of everybody's just fall. Like even the Star Destroyers were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
What
That
is
was
happening?
So crazy.
But so we get to the point where she's laying on her back, be with me, and it goes off beyond and into the stars. And I'm like, how fucking poetic, beautiful.
Yeah, that was a crazy
that
shot.
it
just
all
them
goes
showing
back to
stars,
just the very beginning scenes of all the films.
Yeah.
It's just, it's all here. Everything's always been here.
Yeah.
It's just people that change things.
Yeah.
The setting's the same, whether it's the Empire's alive or the Jedi count. Everything's the same. It's just people making decisions.
Yeah, what's Anakin's line? Is it bring balance as I did or something like that? Doesn't he say something along those lines?
I think so.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I'm sure somebody has it written up somewhere. Like every single what they all say.
It'd be interesting.
I was
Ray.
so fucking happy when I heard Qui-Gon say something.
Me
Well, you
too,
hear
yeah.
these are your final steps.
Yep.
You hear Yoda say like Ray,
Rise on the Force.
Rise.
Yeah.
Then a bunch of other
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what they say, but the fact
And-
that Qui-Gon talked at all, I was so happy.
Qui-Gon talked. I know I heard Mace. I know you guys haven't heard him yet, but
I heard.
I don't know
Mace.
why I keep missing Mace.
But I was actually surprised to hear Anakin. Anakin was the most prominent and loud.
Yeah,
think he
he
was
was
supposed to be.
very.
And I was
yeah,
like,
that makes sense
wow.
because
I think
he was
supposed to be.
Yeah,
I kind of assumed Luke. Well, Luke was also, I think, loud. Like him and Anakin were the two loudest, and everybody else was kind of under. But I was really surprised they did that. That they made Anakin, because she's never met him. At least
Yeah.
she's met Luke, and Luke was so close to Yoda. Like those two made sense that you could hear him prominently. But the fact that Anakin was like, Ray, rise your bitch ass up.
Ray,
Let's do this.
Jesus Christ.
Get up, girl. Get up.
You get a wheelchair?
Hey, baby.
Just take Palpatine's little fucking crane.
You got me up.
And then she has her comeback, and she can't strike him down. She has to reflect the lightning and kill him with his own shit.
Wait, Jamie. No, Leia says something too. Leia's a part of it. Ahsoka's a part of it. Aligala's a part of it. There are many. Yeah. What do you mean, no Leia?
Leia might not be.
I'm 99% sure
She
Leia was
hasn't
one of them.
been. She wasn't a Force ghost yet. She was still in limbo.
Yeah, she was still in limbo. Yeah.
No, I take it back. I'm sorry, Jamie. Sorry.
Yeah, I just realized that she was still.
Yeah.
She didn't kind of give herself away until Ben died.
Yeah, so she was kind of in that limbo. Good point.
Huh.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Cool.
The Sith, man. So Sith heavy. I loved it.
It is crazy. So the setting of the end, just the fact that they're in, let's just call it Korriban for what the fuck it is. Jesus Christ.
No, it's a different place.
No, but it is Korriban. It's the house of the Sith.
Korriban to me, we've all.
Do you think
it's Korriban's like a desert planet? So I get why they didn't do it.
Well, it could be the same idea as Dantooine was the old Jedi thing, and now it's elsewhere. It's always somewhere else. So maybe Korriban was an ancient Sith temple. Exegol is more of the recent, like maybe Darth Bane and to now Sith temple.
It says something in the visual dictionary.
Is
about
Korriban
that.
still? Is that still canon?
It says a couple different Sith worlds.
Oh,
Korriban's the ancient name. Moraband is the modern name. But it talks about
Ooh, guys, sorry, we have to interrupt.
What?
So Jamie's making a hardcore point right here. So if we heard Ahsoka, that means Ahsoka's dead at this point.
Yeah.
Fuck. I didn't think about that.
I mean, it's how long after Rebels?
Yeah, but how long
Wars,
did Togruta's last? I mean, you could easily just say
that's a spoiler. She's probably going to die in Clone Wars then when the season comes out, right? Maybe.
No, she's in Rebels. She
Oh,
can't die in
shit,
Clone
you're right.
Wars.
I'm a fucking idiot.
Other noteworthy Sith worlds
I don't watch those shows.
include Malachor, Zeos, Jaguda, and Relg, and then Korriban and Exegol. So there's a couple Sith worlds.
Wait, where's it say Korriban?
Moraband, known to antiquity as
Thank
Korriban.
you. Okay, cool. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, so they're claiming that Moraband. Okay, where's Moraband from? Like, where did they create that word?
I think they just made it up for the Clone Wars, and I don't know why they did just use Korriban to begin with. But
Yeah.
it said Korriban was a Sith world, but obviously known. Exegol was unknown.
You know what
That's
would
why
have been?
they chose it.
You know what would have been cool if they just legitimized it by saying it was like lost in translation. Like it used to be Korriban, but throughout the years, language changes.
I think that's the point. Yeah,
And that's. I mean, if they legitimize it that way, I think that's awesome.
I love the Sith runes, and it looks like the language of Mordor.
It literally just
something.
looks like people holding shit up. Like everything's holding.
like hieroglyphs and shit. It's awesome.
This is literally just a basketball court.
Wait.
They just have a picture of a small basketball court.
Move your finger. I can't see it.
It's the second thing.
Oh, yeah. It does look like a basketball court.
Well, basketball court means killing.
This is where LeBron shoots from here.
I love these books just because it gives you
The people's
a
names.
few
and
extra
shit.
things, like the fact that Vader and Palpatine both had one of the Wayfinders to Exegol for the contingency plan. Just that little detail, and the fact that Kylo has to open the movie by going to Mustafar to get that chest and get the
Jamie-
Wayfinder is so fucking cool.
Jamie says can't show the
Oh
camera.
yeah, sorry guys. For people that are on the live stream or watching afterwards, we're looking at the visual dictionary.
Look at that thing. Look at the ears incorporated into the eyes. That's crazy,
So
dude.
weird.
Star Wars is such a unique. Like they can just create whatever the fuck they want. This is ear eye rabbit.
Well, yeah, that's the best thing about it. Your imagination just goes wild as you look at everything.
From a certain point of view. How did you guys like those cool like track speeder things? I thought they were cool.
Oh yeah, that was badass. I love all the stuff like that, man. The Jet Trooper's so sweet. The new Jet Trooper, mostly because I'm playing it in Battlefront. But
I like this
that
guy in
was
the back.
badass.
Rothar Dang. Face distorted by horrific procedures. Who's that?
Plastic surgery done wrong. Yeah. So I guess we're kind of wrapped up.
Yeah.
The good guys win, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
Ray-
my gripes are small. It's mostly, I think, the editing and the pacing, which could have been fixed if they made it longer. They just went balls deep and made it 3 hours or 2 hours and 50 or something. They could have fixed all that.
Yep.
Cringy lines also could have been fixed by the length. They all have planet-killing weapons. This is the plot. Palpatine's here. The Sith. Just stuff like that. kinda bugged me.
FML.
Churro.
But that was it. I thought also saying Rey Palpatine and You're Palpatine was a little creepy or cringy. Everything else was great though.
Jamie said Chewie gets his medal. 10 out of 10.
Yes,
Yep.
that was awesome. Very tasteful.
You know, the plot is over. At that point, let's just have some fucking fun. And it was just like, all right, everybody's happy. People are crying. Chewie, you get a fucking medal.
Yeah.
You get laid. Everybody gets a free car.
Everyone's
You
getting
get
laid. we haven't talked about Finn and Poe at all in this. And Chewie, first of all, when Chewie heard Leia died, I was crying.
Oh, yeah.
He had a great performance in this one. Out of all the other movies, this one was a big standout for Chewie, I think.
Well, he was in it. He was in it the whole fucking time doing shit.
No, it was good.
Little things like his when he screams at Hux when he mentions Han.
Yeah.
And Hux's hair like blows everywhere.
That's awesome. But Finn and Poe, I am such a huge fan of Finn after the whole trilogy. He's one of my favorite characters.
He's great. Yeah.
I always liked him, but after this especially, and I see his whole journey, I love him. And him and Poe's relationship was great. The fact that they are both generals by the end is awesome. The fact that Finn is force sensitive. What do you think about that? I already know you like it, but what do you think about that?
Yeah, I like it too.
And I know we were speculating, but I actually looked this up. And it does say
when he points up at that Star Destroyer, he's like definitive, like, yep, it's there. How do you know? A feeling.
Well, you can legitimize it. I know a lot of people might have issues with it because why all of a sudden he's strong, but like he was taken at a young age, and if you're taken and trained as a soldier, even if you're force user, like you're not going to cultivate that ability or that power. So it's like it's not going to go anywhere if you're not going to. First of all, you don't have it. You need a teacher.
I can show you the ways of the Force.
I thought I fucking read this, that it was on Wikipedia, but I guess I was wrong.
Poe was the one that was supposedly force-sensitive potential because he grew up, I think, non-canonly, or was it canonly? He grew up next to that force tree.
Yeah. I don't know. What I took from the movie was that everybody has the Force, which is obviously true, just to a certain degree, and Finn is getting intuition and getting a feeling and getting a hunch, which means people like Finn and Poe and Han, they just have a little more force than the average person. So they just have good luck and they have intuition. That's what I got from it. But I think we're going to confirm that Finn's actually force sensitive.
Well, just think about it, because they do the same fucking thing at the end of episode 8. The broom kid, like they're everywhere. Everybody has a little bit of this shit.
Yeah, exactly. And fuck, what was I just going to say? God damn it.
Brain fart. Oops.
I know. I hate when that happens.
So do I. Yeah, that's the worst.
No, but Finn and Poe were great in this. I love Finn.
I love
playing
probably my
Finn
favorite I love Poe. He's awesome.
I think Poe and Finn. It's nice to see a stormtrooper. I mean, he's the first character we see run up.
What are you doing?
You know what's nice is we assume a lot of Han's backstory. Oh, there's a bounty on my head. I have to say that so you know what the fuck I've been through. Finn, we've seen what he's been through. He was told to murder a bunch of innocents. Yeah. Then he was gonna get killed up on his own goddamn ship. Phasma was gonna figure it out. So he escaped, and the whole episode 7's like through his eyes almost. And we get to this point where you feel so much for Finn in episode 9 because you know what he's been through and you've seen it. While I love Han Solo, a lot of it is dialogue like, well, it's hard to be like, oh, here with the bounty on your head. Bounty thing is hard.
Because he's already a badass in 4.
Yeah, well, that's my point. Yeah,
like his whole arc throughout the original trilogy is him becoming less of a scoundrel and more of a good guy and falling in love with Leia, which is cool. But you don't see him grow
because he's like strictly business out of the gate, and then later, I mean, with him obviously coming in on the Death Star
but
run.
We meet him when he's already a savage. Mm-hmm. Finn, I like what you're saying. Finn, we get to kind of see that growth.
Finn develops into a savage.
But the other thing I like is from a certain point of view, like you were talking about, where everybody's a little bit force sensitive. From a certain point of view, a lot of people just have great abilities. You're very skillful. It's going to be the will of the Force regardless. Yeah. From other people's point of view, called Han Solo, it's called luck from his point of view. Yeah. I'm just, I'm lucky sometimes. Well, there is no luck. Well, there's the Force, which how I perceive it is fucking luck because I can't use it that well. Jesus.
From a certain point of view.
So it's everybody's right. Every guy.
Except for the people that hate this movie. They're the only ones that aren't right.
I think the people hating on it, I mean, just don't watch Star Wars, please. Like, I mean, fuck.
I mean, honestly, you gotta take a look at yourself. And I'm not saying you have to love every movie, but if you go in looking for stuff to hate, then don't go. I don't want you to see the movie. I wish you would love the movie.
There's also an element of like, if you thought 7 was just a rip off of 4, and you thought 8 was terrible, and you thought this one was overly fan service, and you didn't like the prequels, and you don't like the cartoons, well, you don't fucking like Star Wars, dude.
Thank you. That's a great point.
Just go watch the 80s movies and just leave it at that.
Go watch 4, 5, and 6. And just getting back to Poe.
That sounds like you had a great childhood and the rest of your life has been dog shit, so you hate Star Wars now.
Just like Freddie Prinze, whatever, was saying about
Freddie Hammer Time.
You're just mad that you're not a kid anymore.
Yeah, I still need to watch that rant. You guys he talked about that rant. I've yet to watch it.
He played it on the show.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You must not be caught up with Rogue Squadron.
Jeez Louise. I was gonna say one more thing on Poe.
Jeez Louise.
I like watching Poe's just in general just struggle, which I think we can all relate to. Like him just being in charge, being like, "Fuck, what do I do?"
Yeah,
like he's still learning.
Almost like be careful what you wish for, because he wanted to be in command. Like I think everyone in The Last Jedi wanted him to be appointed in command, not Holdo. And then when he got it in 9, it's like he was struggling. He's like,
realize how hard it actually is.
Fuck, what do I do? I'm the dude. I'm at the top. I don't have anybody else to turn to.
Speaking of Holdo, that was the absolute cringiest moment. We need to pull some Holdo maneuvers. No, that thing's 1 in a million. Why?
Yeah.
Why did they add that? By the way, I tried to point something out to you. I saw it, somebody mention it on the celebration scene at the end when they're on Endor. You can see the Holdo maneuver happening through a Star Destroyer. Like you see a streak of it, and it's like splitting in half.
Oh, I guess
above Endor.
Yeah, when they pan down to the Ewoks.
Yeah, and Wicket's just like, oh fuck yeah,
Holdo,
get some Holdo maneuver. 1 in a million, 2 in a million,
2 in a million. The odds go up. So I saw it, and you tapped me, and I was like, "Are we looking at the same thing?"
I just didn't want to shout like Holdo maneuver.
But why would they do that?
Because it's fucking cool.
No, it's not. People died. Why would they do that?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
So no, because I agree. Like visually, it looks exactly like a Holdo Holdo maneuver. The way it sprouts out with the blue and everything. But
well, now that she's done it once, maybe they programmed droids to do it or some shit.
I hope the end scene was a Holdo.
I don't disagreeing with.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was just a Star Destroyer getting destroyed. Is what I thought it was.
It no looked visually like the Holdo remover. I'm forever saying it.
When I see it a third time, I'll.
All right, so last thing then, I guess. What
was
do you
that
think
Wicket and Wicket?
It was Wicket and his son, I think.
Dude, fucking Wicket's banging everything on.
Last thing, what do you think about the little celebration at the end and their homage to Return of the Jedi?
Well, we also have quite a bit more, but it's perfect.
What are you talking about?
We got the whole Tatooine scene, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Celebration was good. Yeah,
it was perfect. It was fun. It was
interesting
fun.
choices too.
It definitely mirrored that, and back in my mind was like I've seen this before, but it was still fun. Yeah, I liked how Bespin was there. They showed on Bespin with the Star Destroyer coming down. I thought that was cool.
And it was the whole Poe, Finn, Rey coming together. Let's triple hug and fucking cry this shit out because this sucked. Like it's been fun to watch the films, but to be in that shit, fuck, man.
Yeah, that was good.
No Gungan's gold lightsaber hang my dick.
And I said, Okay, so yeah, celebration scene, and then we go to the end scene where Rey rolls into Tatooine hard.
Fucking hard.
It was a nice little scene. Shit. I like how she slid down, even though she didn't need to. A little sliding down. She was only like 10 feet.
No, that was her.
Yeah, that was
That's totally her.
Yep.
It was so tasteful. It was a nice send off. Just a fucking tip of the hat to the very beginning of how all of this started.
Yep.
It even made sense, like storyline, like let's bury the past. We got Luke and Leia stuff, and I don't want anybody finding this stuff. So let's go to the most desolate shithole. And I'm not going back to Jakku, by the way. So the next best place is Tatooine. Let's go back and pay homage. She buries that stuff. We see her lightsaber, which is badass. So we know
built it out of her staff.
Built it out of her staff,
which was a fan thing that a lot of people were wanting. So.
Mm-hmm. And then, I guess maybe one of the more controversial things, she gets asked, who is she, Rey? And she looks out and sees Luke and Leia and says,
Rey who?
I'm Rey Skywalker, which I love. Like it's two different stories. how am I supposed to say it? Like Kylo and Rey are so similar, but it's two different paths to the same thing. So Kylo had the bloodline. He was supposed to be the devil dude.
I love it. and hate it at the
Rey
same
didn't
time.
have anybody, and then she ended up being the devil dude.
Yeah.
But Kylo had to overcome who he was supposed to be. Everybody wanted him to be the next Darth Vader. Let me just be Ben. That's who I need to be.
Right.
Rey, she was supposed to be the nobody, ended up being the devil lady. But then she was able to bury that shit, bury the past, move on.
Yep.
Who do you want to be? Well, let me decide who the fuck I'm going to be. Let me tell you, I'm going to be fucking Rey Skywalker because the best people in my life have been the Skywalkers.
Leia, yeah.
They're my friends. They're my teachers. They're long short of it, they're my parents.
Yeah, to me, she's Luke and Leia to me are my mom and dad, even if they're not blood. It's almost as if she was adopted.
Yeah.
Some things are stronger than blood.
Exactly.
So it's a cool that's the cap on her story, because that's all from day one. She's scratching that shit. Who were my parents? And then it comes to the point, it doesn't fucking matter. They were good people.
They tried to do the right thing.
They tried to do the right thing.
But
and
no fucking way am I calling myself Ray Palpatine.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. You have to disown that name.
It was nice for all the reasons that you guys just mentioned. I thought, I was really hoping that the whole point of this was to be leave the Skywalker legacy behind. But, she is the Skywalker in the Rise of Skywalker, I guess. My question is, do you think she pulls a Daenerys and doesn't have kids? Like, does she not want her bloodline to move on? Because she is technically a Palpatine. What if she has a kid and that fucking turned out to be evil? You never know.
But
the skip a generation theory definitely must skip,
It's like the idea of nature and nurture. If a serial killer has a kid, that means 0% that the offspring is going to be a serial killer.
True. Well, that's what
It's
happened to Rey.
all. I think it's all nurture. Like it's how you're raised.
Yeah,
it's who's around you.
Possibly.
I think the bloodlines, and we prove it wrong with Kylo himself. The bloodline's you're supposed to be the devil dude, and then he becomes redemption dude, which I guess technically is in his bloodline too. I'm hard as a rock.
Damn it! Is Churro Girl here?
That's all we could have said.
God.
Yeah, Jamie was suggesting that it's a double-bladed lightsaber that she has, and it did have kind of like a twist thing. It looked like
dial, yeah.
It looked like
it was interesting.
But she triggered it on with that twist. It wasn't like a button activation. It looked like she twisted it and it turned on.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it changes color per se, but it was cool that we saw a yellow lightsaber outside of the Jedi Temple Guardians.
Yellow lightsaber.
To me, it looks yellow. I've seen some people say it's orange. To me, it looks fucking yellow.
It's yellow for sure.
I think it's yellow.
Yellow has some significance in Legends,
To me, it looks yellow too, but I thought I was looking at some shit on YouTube last night. People were saying it was
Bastila,
orange.
man. Bastila Sean, man.
A lot of Old Republic vibes in this shit. A lot of expanded universe stuff. I think, of course, our group chat is lit with people saying this sets enough of a stage that the next trilogy could be Old Republic, or at least we could get back to Old Republic stuff in canon, talking about the old Sith and where the Rule of Two came from, and we didn't talk about the essence transfer theory that came true.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the biggest things, and that's what leading, or at least opening the door to Old Republic stuff is through Palpatine's words. Long and short of it, he is all, and Rey, you need to kill me to absorb all the rest of the Sith knowledge or Siths that we have become. He was talking some demonic shit, like he needed an exorcism. Like there was voices in his head, and he even says to Kylo, "I have been all the voices in your head," and it was like, but
Yes.
it just it plants the seeds of. Dude,
This is what I was trying to ask you guys last night: is if that's the case, is Palpatine his own person, or is he all the Sith? I know he's kind of both. Like he has the power of all the Sith, but I'm just wondering if he goes into Rey, because it's a mind fuck to try to think of, because he's possessing Rey, but it's his granddaughter. So is Rey still herself, but now she's using the dark side and she's evil and corrupted, or is he like taking over her body and now that's Palpatine again?
I think she is herself. She makes her own decisions, but in doing that, you are giving to the darkness of all the hatred and all the knowledge is built up over 1,000 generations or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and it's like activated with the things inside of her. It's always been there, but now it's awake. it would have just unleashed hell in her, and she would have just fucking started destroying everything. But she's still making her own decisions. You're just pissed the whole time.
I don't know. I wonder if he's taking a new name, but Palpatine is Bane from all those years. He's just been more and more evil and more strong over the past 1,000 years building stuff up.
Okay, in one of the Bane books, you guys know more than me, when Bane, his apprentice Xana, right?
Zana, yeah.
Xana, isn't it implied by Drew? Well, you guys talked to Drew. Didn't he? Did he confirm with you guys that
He left it open on purpose.
Okay, he leaves it open. Okay.
But
That's a huge tip to him.
I don't know if they did it on purpose, but I hope so.
Because that is,
I guess my thought,
read, yeah.
my thought is maybe from a certain point of view, once you go down that path, forever will it dominate. And there has been this line of people of just hatred, pure hatred. Maybe not even technically like everybody's Darth Bane. It's I'm fucking rage pissed. If you kill me, you're rage pissed. And you have to carry that burden until someone else kills you.
I just think it doesn't make if Rey is a good person and she strikes down Palpatine, let's say he didn't tell her his plan and she struck him down to kill him, and she's still a good person, but his spirit went into her and possessed her. If she's still a good person, I feel like wouldn't she be fighting off that dark energy? I think if that would have happened, he literally would have taken over her. And now
Some sort of possession.
now he's not
That's
called
okay.
Palpatine anymore. It's Rey, but she's fucking evil now. The old Rey that we thought we knew is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Fresh.
opening up that Pandora's box, isn't it? Like you don't know, but
It's a huge nod to Bane. Yeah.
I think it wouldn't have been that easy. Like let's just say she went that route and she was gonna try to kill him. If she swung on him, he was gonna fucking toy with her until she was so fucking frustrated
Probably,
that it would have got to that point where she would have had to been fucking blood rage pissed to finally take him out.
Right.
Like he's not gonna just say, okay, ceremonially stab me a little higher and then hit me here.
You missed the spot.
Like it's not gonna be that simple. It's something's gonna he's gonna fuck with her.
Oh, you only cut me in half. I can survive that. You gotta
You
like,
gotta- in thirds, please.
You gotta chop my head off. Okay. No. Oh wait. Now my brainstem is still functioning. You gotta like instant. I'm kidding. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Was that a joke?
Yeah.
You gotta cut me dick to the tip.
And on that note,
Good Day Galaxy. Yeah, one of my favorites. Like if even in the moment, I still think as far as it would drop, it'd still be in my top 3.
it was
this is the craziest
absolutely in the theater the most pleasing and rewarding Star Wars movie by far. Seeing it unfold in front of you was extremely thrilling, shocking, scary. I didn't know they were going to pull all that shit in there.
How do you do scary, thrilling, funny,
Yeah.
all in one movie with no lulls? It's just balls to the wall the whole time.
Yeah, a lot of Sith stuff, which I'm always a fan of. Huge nod to all the Legends and Expanded Universe fans, which was cool. A lot of Force powers. Prequel shit to the 9.
Prequel shit, but they even played the non-Force sensitive from a certain point of view. Poe and Finn.
Yeah.
They played that shit real well.
Yeah.
From C-3PO to
Yeah.
Chewie, everything was played so well.
Yeah.
And
it was
they
great.
wrapped so much up in
Best movie going experience I've ever had for Star Wars, which is awesome. I do have to let it simmer for a while to see where it ranks, but it's definitely up there. And as far as our rating system goes, 3 out of 3 guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
Do you so at the end of, and I don't know how you guys feel about Rogue One right now, but at the end of Rogue One, that was such a crazy high because I feel like at that time Darth Vader was still probably one of our favorite
Oh, he's still
enemies of all time, and
Yeah.
you might have been still Palpy, but like
Well,
that's what
Palpatine
I
always-
wanted to
yeah.
see was him just be that pissed and get there, and we finally got that, and we walked out of Rogue One on such a high. Were you on such a high like that on that level, or even more so with it?
Way more. Just because I was on the edge of my seat the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Yep.
With a prequel, I
More.
know in a way I kind of know what's gonna happen. I know
Because
that.
you've seen them.
Yes, it's like I know they're gonna get the Death Star plans. I'm talking like Rogue One, my first watch. It's like, well, I know eventually they're gonna get those fucking plans.
Rogue One was extremely gratifying because we knew it was going to be about Rebels and it was going to be about the Death Star. But we had no idea that it was going to lead up to literally seconds before A New Hope. That plus the Vader scene plus all the Rebels died, I think that was extremely gratifying coming out of the theater. Because like as it unfolds, you start to realize like, oh shit, oh wow, that's a Tantive 4. Oh shit,
Yeah.
They're getting away, and like this is right before Vader's chasing them down in the original fucking Star Wars movie.
Well, yeah,
that was crazy.
They literally made a movie from the opening crawl of episode 4.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome.
like, you come out of a lot of these movies with different emotions, and I think that's the point. Like, out of 7, you're just like in wonder, like, who are these people? What is going on? 8, you come out with such a huge question mark above your head. You're like, God damn, like, who is Rey? What happened to Snoke and all this shit? And then in episode 9, you just come out with like a huge exclamation point in your mind. You're like,
I think of all,
What?
the most satisfying I feel is in 3, 6, and 9, because that's the ending of them all.
3, I felt like was probably.
Yeah, it's so.
I never felt that with 6, to be honest.
Oh, I love 6
Neither
just
did
because of the Emperor.
Never in my life.
Really? Wow.
Even in my favorite showing of it, which, you know, it's not always the first time you see it. Sometimes it's like the third or fourth you start understanding it. I've never felt that way about 6.
It's just those older movies.
I'm just that biased with the Emperor. I just love the Emperor so much.
I really do love and obviously appreciate the original trilogy, but just for some reason, it never, and probably because I've been seeing them ongoing since I was a kid, and I don't even remember when the first time I saw them was. I just never felt like shocked and like, holy shit, I can't believe they did that. I never feel like that in the original trilogy.
It's because it was
It's
very.
comforting and it's nice to watch, and it obviously
Well,
set the stage for everything.
They
but-
came out before we were born, so we can't
Right.
have the same connection with it.
Well, there's also like there's a grand scale that you can feel in the prequels. Like, people are dying. All the Jedi is fallen. All this. 6 is literally a family skirmish. Like, dad, sister, and brother are all pissed at each other, and that's kind of what happens. In episode 9, everything is collapsing again.
Yeah.
Like, episode 6, Emperor Palpatine could have beaten and won over Luke in episode 6, and the whole galaxy is still okay as it stands right then and there.
Yeah. With the
Episode 9, everybody's dying if we don't fix this right fucking now.
Yeah.
If it doesn't go our way, it no longer exists. Everything. Which also, if I'm going to rule a galaxy, don't you want people in it?
Yeah.
I'm Emperor Palpatine. If I win, I get to float. I get to stay here. I don't have to deal with anybody anymore. I'm not. What do you control?
He probably
Nothing.
got to the point where he's just pissed. He's like, I've already done this twice. Like, just fucking kill everybody.
Kill them all.
If they don't agree, then kill them. If they don't agree, then kill them. Jimmy says he thinks TLJ had more wow moments. It's hard.
I mean,
it's
I
going to
can
be a minute. I'm going to have to look back at it and see. But there are...
Well, the Snoke cut in half is a wow. The Holdo maneuver is a wow. The Luke premonition or the Luke
projection that was
is
amazing.
a wow.
Yeah.
No, and that's a good point. But I still think, in episode 9, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Here's one thing.
To be honest.
Here's one thing that it's totally okay that they are totally different styles of movies and still in the same franchise. Like Last Jedi can be its own thing and be more subdued and subtle and like talk about, establishing Rey and Kylo's Force bond and expanding on the Force and like how it works and everything. That really sets the stage for 9. But it's okay that 9 can just be like a crazy fucking train ride that does everything you ever wanted.
Which is
Like
what
they
it
can
is. This is
both
what
be
it
good.
is.
It doesn't have to
Exactly what it
be.
is.
But everything led up to it. I'm completely happy with it.
Very happy. 3
Extremely
out of
happy.
3.
We got shirtless Kylo in The Last Jedi. Why didn't we get shirtless Rey in episode 9?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Ruined Star Wars for me.
I want to see his gains. Is he more jacked than... I'm just kidding.
He was like, I've never seen a human look like that. He was just like, he's the wall that we're building in Mexico. Everybody's triggered. He's Pink Floyd the wall.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. A submarine!
Mr. Wayne.
Submarine, Mr. Wayne. A submarine.
Easily 3 out of 3.
20 out of
This movie has
7.
the best sound design of any. Yeah, we discussed that.
12
Yeah,
out of
you
10.
missed the beginning, but yeah, we definitely brought that up.
The Exegol like lightning storm has, and it with it tying into the score was like blowing my fucking mind.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm glad we saw it in IMAX
It's
too.
so cool.
Yeah.
The score was sick. The opera shit on Exegol.
How did you guys feel? Just so as we fucking turn this shit off,
Yep.
That's
about
slick we've tried to turn it off.
four times, yeah.
about the Coliseum of Sith or whatever.
Fucking loved it, and I want to know if those were spirits or actual beings.
I assume they were
I think
spirits.
they're just like, yeah, I don't know. Like just,
Of all the Sith Lords from the past.
Yeah, someone suggested that was the Sith species, that they were still alive.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to decide which one of those two I would prefer.
You know, it's,
don't know,
it's
but-
almost like whatever the fuck you want. And
don't you remember in KOTOR though, the Sith species in KOTOR times is supposed to be extinct.
Yoda species doesn't exist. I don't give a fuck what you talk about.
Well, that's actually one thing that I was hoping to see in the visual dictionary, but there isn't a fucking page about Palpatine in there, which I found surprising.
That's crazy.
Because
Oh,
he's been in
wow.
all the other ones.
I was gonna dive into
But
this
why
after
did
we
they have
stopped.
a
Zombie.
They have a page about Palpatine. That's so weird.
That's very strange. yeah.
Zombie teen. Yeah.
All right.
Good
Star
day,
Wars.
Galaxy.
It's over. It's ended.
No,
We
it's
got
not
the
just
one more
Skywalker. Got plenty of stuff to look forward to.
We got one more Mando episode. We haven't talked about the 7th one, but we'll get to that next
I
episode.
think it'll be good to talk about both of them because it looks like it was kind of two halves.
Yeah.
Two halves of the same.
Cliffhanger.
The episode's been halved. That was the first cliffhanger they did. I'm so glad. I don't want to get into it yet. We'll talk about it. So thanks for joining in, Rogue Squadron Catcast, Basscast.
Shout out.
Kerner, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on again.
Oh, and thanks to everybody that came out to the opening premiere at Gateway on Thursday. Platform that did our beer, the Rye of Skywalker. Thanks. It was delicious. 501st in presence. It's always a special treat to have them. That's like the best part of any Star Wars premiere is having the 501st there.
Yeah, that is so cool how those guys come out and get all
Dolled up.
dressed.
Just shout out to Zale for coming out. Hogan driving down. Matt Williamson coming down from Cleveland to see us.
This Churro Daddy coming down.
This chunkarunk. And then shout out to Roderick, who reached out to us on Facebook. Was real cool. So we love to hear from you guys. We don't hear enough.
Please
we
shout at
love
us.
talking to everybody, and we know people are listening and downloading, but we never.
Please
There's a
say
lot
something.
of there's a large disconnect. So we
Just
like
do
to,
me a favor, get hammered and email us and just say all your rants about KOTOR because that was one of my favorite ones.
The Alaska
Always
guy,
shouts
right?
out to Nelson.
just start it all. Mopar's an idiot, and then get into it, and then
Hang on, I got to order pizza. I'll be right back. All right.
shout out to
great.
Jammy Skywalker. He reinvented himself in the chat this evening. So
Thanks for tuning into the episode. Thanks for watching live too.
Yeah,
Watch live streams and stuff. And,
Watch live.
We'll be back to talk about The Mandalorian.
cool guys.
Woo!